Council Committee meeting for Public Lands and Buildings on September 18th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Members present are Chris Moritz, Clarissa Slater, Terry Spiegel, and myself, Sierra Sherrick, as chair. First up, we have public participation. Okay, seeing none, we have Dr. Pete Maynard, and is Jill's not here. I say up to talk about the tennis pickleball courts.
Right, thank you very much. I'm Pete Maynard. I'm here tonight to ask if we could have permission to consider changing the existing tennis courts at the Paul Miller Park into pickleball courts. The reason being is right now we have 6 existing pickleball courts, which were pavement that was painted. The group that raised the money for this were hopeful that when we painted them would take care of some of the cracks, some of the things. As all of you know, pickleball's become a very, very popular sport, not just with my age group, but with all age groups. And so Jill Kim said she would be willing to, or she's interested in raising money possibly to put in pickleball courts that are more really pickleball courts. Right now what we have is asphalt that's been painted over, nice, get used almost daily, but there's cracks, there's some issues with those with those pickleball courts. Right when we painted the courts 2 years ago, we raised some money and did that, fixed some of the cracks, which we thought was going to make a significant difference. Definitely made a difference, but kind of got what we paid for. And right now they're obviously playable, but they're not the kind of courts that a lot of us would really enjoy more if we didn't have to deal with some of the cracks. So this is strictly wanting to know if that is a possibility. The reason I brought it up is that when we did the painting, the contractor that the city had used to do the first 3 was also slated to do 3 more, which they did. I think Kiwanis paid for those. And then when we repainted, a group of us raised the capital for that. The city at that time let us know that the possibility of using the tennis courts or converting those to pickleball courts was a possibility. We did get a quote to see what it would be just for painting them, but the same issues with the current courts, the tennis courts are now have. I mean, the cracks, the grass is growing on them, etc. Why use those versus using the existing? Two things we think. Possibly when they did the tennis courts, they used base, which was for tennis courts. Also, the asphalt that you use for a tennis court is not the same as what you would use for a parking lot. We don't know that. So it's totally exploratory at this time, but we want to know if that is an option. That would be an option we'd want to explore. Plus, there are already existing lights for those tennis courts, so those could be used. They are supposed to be in working order, and so they could be used. So what we're asking for is that an option? If it's not an option, then we'll explore other options. Right now, this is all just preliminary. We're just looking at what options we might have.
I have a question.
Sure.
Because I don't know anything about pickleball. Like, never played. Is there any way for it to be a tennis court and a pickleball court, or there's yes? Mm-hmm. So we could just do it like a dual use?
Could be, yes, it could be a dual use.
Because I know one of the big questions that we've gotten so far, not just by Councilman Myers the other night, but I've had somebody else ask me is, where would people go to play tennis if
at
not?
the high school. That's where they go, and that's where they go now. The reason that these tennis courts aren't being used is because the high school courts are much, much better than the existing that are
And
here.
they are allowing?
Yes, and Kelly checked on that. And
yes.
Okay. All right, I just want to make sure all of our bases are covered before we
Correct.
delve in.
Yep, yep.
I don't.
And I'm sure they're being used on occasion. The people that I know that play tennis play tennis at the high school.
I do have a question.
Sure.
I know that
I think it was the Kiwanis that did a big fundraiser for the pickleball court last time. Did they move the Sam Sabak
No.
monument?
No, the monument is still where it
Okay.
initially existed.
I
yes.
guess that has a special place in my heart, because I
Sure.
took
My
lessons
kids
from.
learned from Sam,
Yeah.
and I totally understand.
Could we, in adjacent to this, like in the plan, maybe talk to the Bucyrus High School or schools and see if they'd be willing to take it? I mean, I just don't know if, like, it seems a little mismatched. It's not tennis anymore, so.
No, that's a reasonable,
Yeah.
But that, or if it is a dual use, I mean.
If it does end up being.
I think Sam would probably be just as into this pickleball.
oh, well, that, yeah.
Yeah.
Knowing Sam, I could really see
Yeah.
him into this too, so.
I don't disagree. I just know, like, sometimes you get, like, I don't know how the lines would be. Are you going with
No,
a
it's-
contractor?
Right now, I will tell you, if you go to very many places, almost all of the tennis courts have pickleball courts painted on.
Gotcha.
Lines painted around them. Where was that just? Apple Valley.
It's a little
Apple Valley
shorter,
has tennis
right?
courts. Yeah, as a matter of fact, you can put three pickleball courts on either side of the existing, of what now is the existing tennis court. So you
Okay.
could put 6 courts there if you
I
wanted.
gotcha.
The other side, as I said, all we're looking at is an option. This is
Yeah.
not something we're saying, oh, we would like to do this.
Right.
Okay. But good point.
All right, Brandon.
Pickleball court is the same as.
Hey, wait, James,
No, they're not.
James.
He's talking right
Oh,
now.
I'm sorry.
if you want to ask him a question, you can come up, but we need you so that they can all hear you.
Yeah.
Well, pickleball courts are 20 by 40. And as I say, if you took a regular tennis court, you would take a pickleball court from the net into the the area behind the tennis court. So for example, there's fencing at the end of each of the existing tennis courts. You could easily put a pickleball court.
That's what I'm saying, so pickleball court and tennis court is the same, like, I watched one, the first time I ever heard somebody say you were playing pickleball.
The size
I watched
is
it,
different.
The size, it does look different, but the lines on it is the same.
No,
as the tennis
no, the
court.
lines are not the same. The pickleball court is much narrower than the tennis court. So like I say, one side of the tennis court, you could almost put a full pickleball court, just one side. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Does anybody else have questions for Mr. Maynard, or Dr. Maynard? All right.
Okay.
Brandon, do you know what we would need to do to allow them to do this? Do we need to do a resolution, or do we just allow the administration?
How much is it gonna cost?
Well, he just
They're
said that they're looking
fundraising.
at raising money to do it.
We are, and I will tell you right now, Brandon, this is not something would be an option, you know. So if there's a big plus and advantage as far as cost savings, which we would hope there might be, I would tell you right now, Galleon just put in 6 pickleball courts, and their bids range from $90,000 to $183,000. So would you have to put a full base in? We have no answers for any of those questions. And right now, we're not asking the city for, as of right now, we're not asking the city for anything. Okay?
So I just did a quick Google search. It actually has like 3 different configurations. My screen brightness isn't very high,
Right.
sorry guys. It looks like it's showing like you can do 3, you can do 4 that way, or you can do 2, or you can do 1 just overlapping, so you use the same nets. But it looks like this was from a contractor that does
Right.
the, I don't know if anyone cares to see it, but.
And what they do is they're a portable net that you just bring along to the pickleball court. If you would look at the existing pickleball courts that we have right now and the existing tennis courts right now, you would see that surface area is almost exactly the same. But that would be eliminating the tennis court. But there's still space. The out of bounds at either end of the tennis courts is significant at Miller. As a matter of fact, it's much greater than, say, at the high school. Because you'll see now high school matches, people won't be able to return stuff because it's so far back. That's getting off the subject. Okay.
All right, so
We need a resolution, Brian, for this from the whole council? Or-
I mean, you can, it wouldn't hurt, but I don't think it's necessary.
Or, I mean, do we just
This committee can just give them.
allow the administration to work with them and figure out what's needed next?
Sure.
Okay.
Did you hear that, Tommy? All right.
Okay,
Thank
thank you
you,
very much
sir.
for your time,
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion, we approach the administration and help them whenever they need help.
Okay.
I'll second
Talk
that.
to them.
All right, so we have a motion to have the administration speak with them and try to figure out what all's necessary and how we can help out, with a second by Scheffler Slater. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that motion passed. Next, we have ordinance number 1321, but we're not going to be talking about that tonight. We just needed it back into the committee because we need more information on it. Nothing was really put in at the time that this was put in, explaining how we got here and what was going on. So we need some background information put in to make Kelly's job a lot easier and to back the city as to why they did what when. All right, so other than that, we have another public
Wait a
participation.
minute, what about open projects?
Oh.
Well, it's not on here, but.
It isn't on here. All right, open projects, yes, sir.
Okay, going over this list, I think everything on this Pines Reservoir at Morton's subdivision can be stricken. That place is not even existing anymore.
Well, actually, that is
Old
what,
DNR stuff,
right, but that's what Right It Up is doing stuff out at the Pines, so it's still open. And that's just all the stuff that was leading up to where he's at now. That,
okay.
yeah,
Yeah, we had
because a lot of
a
those
discussion,
pieces were closed, but they
options
told us.
concerning Pine Reservoir, why do we need that on there?
I would say that
Okay.
those pieces were all individually done, but we have to keep the
Seemed like
Pines
seemed
Reservoir on
like
there.
pretty
I didn't.
Pretty redundant.
I think they're doing.
Is there a way
some-
to close out the different parts of the Pines Reservoir? Or- Okay.
Yeah.
So we could probably
We don't have to do it
That all.
tonight, but we can go through it maybe.
no, like, because I don't think any of that is still
I don't think any of it is.
really an issue. So.
Clear back to 17, yeah.
Yeah.
If we just left maybe the, where it just says 4/20/23, I think that was when
Yeah.
we started that stuff with Ray, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, with that West
There-
Creek
there- yeah, 'cause
Conservatory.
Because we went
Yeah.
around the West Creek, so everything West Creek and back, I think we can close out on
Yeah, I
that.
think so too.
Kelly, if you see anything that's open still, when you're Xing it, you can leave it on and let us know, but other than that,
Yeah.
I trust
Yeah.
you because you're really good with records.
Okay, that's all I
right.
got.
Is there anything else in there?
Can we move it just
Just put on
one
the
second?
fibers, everything
I'm
go
just
away.
pulling it
Yeah,
up.
right, I know, some of these are never gonna go away. All right.
I'm so sorry, let me just look at it, because I don't have my printout apparently.
That's
Nothing.
not page number, to tell her what page to go to.
Some of them are 8 years old.
Oh, okay, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, I'm fine with that, sorry, I just want to make sure I was on the same page. Thank you.
All right,
Everything-
do we have anything else then?
Nope.
All right, then, do we have any other public participation?
Ooh, I do have, I'm so
Oh, wait.
sorry, I know we just moved on. Community gardens, we didn't, I do want to mention that I need to get with Ray and probably Tommy and Bruce. We had
Adopt
the
it.
idea that I had
Okay,
been inspired about, so just kind of something that might come. I don't know if we have to do a resolution for that, or can they just do whatever they want?
well, right now, it was just up to the administration, as long as they keep track of what's going on and let us, it's
So what
when
is-
something comes, like, fully permanent and takes away the use of, but none of that took away the use of that you were talking about, so.
Yeah, because right now it's just something they're mowing. It's, so, okay. That was
Ray,
what I had.
Ray also posted something today on Facebook about out there, about trails or something on Facebook today too. I didn't have a chance to read it, but I did see he made a post
Haven't even been on.
about something. I believe that was today. It might have been yesterday.
Of course, it's not popping up.
My stuff runs in together.
Oh, we could probably take off appointments, right? The BZA, BBSA, isn't that done?
That shouldn't be on public lands.
Oh, it's plating. Oh, I went too far.
That's not us.
Sorry.
All right, so no more public participation? All right, then I will adjourn the meeting at 6:16 PM.
September 18th, 2025. Platting Committee will come to order. James Mead, Chair, Aaron Sherrick, Ricky Deshawn, Clarissa Scheffler Slater at 6:18. Public participation. Seeing none. Beverly Drive Project, we have a guest speaker, Dylan Wyatt. Come on down.
Dylan Wyatt, Keefe and Associates. So Beverly Drive project. This is similar to some of the other concrete street projects that we've done the last several years, Rosedale, Edgewood. This is removal of existing concrete streets that are in pretty rough shape, and then we put back new drive aprons, curbs, new asphalt pavement, curb drainage, that type of thing. This, while it is called Beverly Drive, it also includes the entirety of Rose Court, Wooddale Street, Cleveland from Beverly east to Plum, and then the concrete portion of Wilbur, which is just a little bit west of Beverly to the east dead end at Plum. And then there's a small amount of storm sewer that goes in as part of this project. Our intention at this point is to nominate this project for OPWC. And at this point right now, the only thing we need from you all, we've talked with Kaylee about budgeting and everything, but what we need from you all is the OPWC legislation authorizing Tommy to apply for OPWC funds. That application is due here second week of October. So I have, what more do you want to know about it?
We need an
Okay.
emergency, right?
Yes, this would need to be done as an emergency. I do have, as a reference, so you know what legislation it is. The last one that was done was, not the last one, 2 times ago, Resolution 226-2023. Good reference. It's a blanket allowing Tommy to apply for funds through OPWC. This will be the normal, applying for $185,000 out of this project for grant money.
That was 226/2023.
Yep.
And how much money?
So $185,000. Yep. Which again, the dollar amount, nothing has to be in this legislation. It is just Beverly Drive reconstruction project applying for OPWC funds.
Mr. Chair, can I ask for emergency legislation allowing the city service safety director to apply for a grant from OPWC for the Beverly Hills construction project, drive construction project,
As an emergency.
as an emergency? There you go.
Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
I have a question.
Melissa, second. Questions?
The fact that we're going for a grant, there's no money that the city's having to put out.
Not yet.
There is, but not yet. So the intention is to include that, and we've talked with Kaylee about it, so I'll stick around, I'll finance, but the intention is that we will apply for these funds in October of this year, find out in January, probably February, if the funds are awarded, but we will have this project in the budget for next year.
So I guess my question is, would this be one of the subjects where this committee would just say we're in favor of doing this, and then it's passed over to finance because it's on our agenda as well, and then we do the request for legislation to apply for the grant? And I'll look at Kevin as the finance chair. Is that how we do that, or is it?
I think giving him permission could go either way.
Okay,
Does it say on this old legislation where it came from?
It should be on the top
right
right
corner,
corner.
say what committee came
Finance.
Okay.
Last time.
Oh, so we just wait till finance?
So I will take away my motion.
Okay.
And
Clarissa, you'll take away your second.
Well, she withdrew, then mine's automatically gone.
and so,
Jim, we're looking up and seeing how it was the last time.
Okay. We can wait.
Yeah, what was the, what was the number on
This one was 226-2023. There's been one since then. Yeah. For the Sandusky
Right.
Avenue project from last year, but I don't have that number with me.
And there's no need for a motion and second and a vote to say we approve or we're in favor of the project. And then we, the Finance Committee, does the actual asking for the legislation to apply for the,
That's it. I think usually we just all say whether or not we approve sending it to finance.
Remember the last time it did have finance at the top.
Okay.
yeah, that's what,
Does this committee approve it?
I approve it.
Voicefully?
yes.
Clarissa?
Say yes.
I'm listening, I'm just looking at a map of Bucyrus
All right.
for something else.
And I say yes as well, so we'll move that on to finance.
Okay.
Thank
Vita-
you.
Thanks. Vita, proposed legislation. Everybody had a chance to look at it. It's on documents on demand. Is there any additions or corrections? All righty then.
Was that a no?
So we're
No,
good.
it was a
We can
yes,
send it
there
on.
are additions or
Oh.
there's
There are
corrections.
additions. So I'm looking at it. Where we at?
Okay, in the caption, if you'll remember when I talked about this Tuesday, I said, you know, we'll need to make this an emergency, and we're missing the verbiage and declaring an emergency.
That's at the end of the top,
After
right?
being made, semicolon, and declaring an emergency in the caption.
Okay.
Then the first whereas the city of Bucyrus has deemed it necessary. It in place of in. You ready for the next?
Yep.
Then the third whereas, after, 1, 2, 3, 4, the fourth line at the end where it's got the section sign 713.10, we'll want to do comma and, insert the word and.
All right, I lost you. 1, 2, 3, 4.
The last sentence,
Ohio Revised Code.
section 713.10, comma, and then the word and.
Okay.
Then under section 2, just at the end where it says zoning district map, a period. And then also in section 2, signature should be plural, signatures, because you're asking the mayor and council president to affix their signatures.
Where's that at?
Section 2, second line, the word signature.
Signatures. Okay.
And then last but not least, section 4. I don't think the reason for the emergency is for the establishment of the wage scale and appointment of the council clerk.
Appointment of the council.
So all that needs to be changed, because this doesn't have anything to do with the council clerk.
Brandon, can we change those now? Bonnie, I'd like to call recess at 6:28. We'll come to order, or committee meeting will come to order at 6:20.
6:41.
6:41. I knew he was going to do that. All right, we have the new legislation. Everything's been fixed on it. Looks really good to me. Do I have a motion to pass this on to full council as an emergency? And the next meeting will be on September 30th.
I'll make a motion to pass this on to full council as an emergency.
There's no meeting on September 30th.
Serious.
Should be.
Yeah, there is.
There's
No.
5 Tuesdays in September.
No, it'd be the first Tuesday of the month. It'd be October.
It is on the official council calendar for
Right
me
here.
for some reason.
September 30th.
All right, so when's the meeting? Because I looked on the
Yeah, okay,
calendar.
no, that makes sense. Brain.
If it got on there, then Miranda must have made a mistake.
No.
Or it was moved for a reason, we just
Yes.
don't remember what that reason was at this point in time.
Yeah.
So September 30th? Is that what you said, September?
The very next city council meeting.
So we can't wait for the next council meeting to change it. That's what the next council meeting.
Right.
What?
So our calendar says September 30th is our next council
Right.
meeting.
Mhm.
And we can't change it at the next council meeting because that will be the next council meeting. That's what Chris was saying.
So it's going to be on the 30th, is this correct?
Yeah, if it's on the calendar, it's on the calendar.
Or I'm trying to find it published.
All right, while we're looking for a calendar, I want to remind everybody to sign the sign-in sheet. Appreciate you, thank you.
And we have a motion, we just needed a second.
I'll second that motion.
On the door, it says September 30th.
I thought I just seen it.
It's on the door of this room.
Yeah, and right here's the calendar. I got it printed out.
I got mine hanging on my wall.
That's what I think about.
Why was October 7th?
I guess you'll have to go back to the minutes, and I can't tell you what minutes.
Kurt, it may have had something to do with one of the trunk or treats or something in the city coexisting with the next week. I
Okay.
don't remember what it was.
Correct me if I'm wrong, we can't change it now, correct?
No.
So it's not a big deal.
It's going to be on the
there,
30th.
It says September 30th, and then where normally there would have been one on September, October 7th, that's not there, and there's one on October 14th, so for some reason, they was moved. I
Right.
don't know why. I don't remember.
Something was going on, I
Okay.
just don't remember what it is.
So the meeting will be held on September 30th.
I made the motion as an emergency to pass this on to full council, and Clarissa Scheffler Slater went ahead and seconded that.
So, Aaron,
Yes.
Vicki,
Yes.
Clarissa,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Motion goes to full council on September
Yay.
30th. As an emergency.
As an emergency.
Open projects.
Clarissa pointed out the appointments to BZA and BBSA.
That was already removed from the list
Okay.
on August the 7th.
Okay. Kelly, could you make sure they are removed?
And then we can also move, or remove, the planning commission letter, which is right above the appointment to BZA and BBSA. That had to do with meeting in special session to schedule a public hearing, and that was a public hearing to do with Avita, and that's been done. So that can be removed.
So that has nothing to do with, right above it, it says the annexation of.
No, it's just putting the wrong.
Okay. So Kelly, do you got that? And you can remove both those for us? Thank you. Public participation.
I do have one other, I'm sorry, open projects. This encroachment agreement, it has to do with,
That has to do with,
the utility companies. I mean, I'm looking here at the transcript for our meeting on 9/4/25, and it says, motion was made to create an encroachment agreement legislation with Avita between our utility company or between any of the utility companies in the city of Bucyrus. That would be sanitary, water lines, and storm sewer. Mike, you had mentioned at that meeting.
Do we need this?
come on up.
I believe and I can check with Isaac tomorrow because he's the surveyor, not me. I think that this can be handled with a general utility easement from Avita to the city as a part of their roadway vacation plat.
I think we're covered statutorily, but, or at least that's the conclusion that Landon and I came to while we were reading the statute. But it doesn't matter, we can do the encroachment agreement. It's not gonna hurt anything.
I do think that it would be good as a part of the easement anyways to have, I know it was brought up at the last meeting about, we have a storm sewer that's shallow, a 4-foot diameter storm sewer that's 20 feet deep, a sanitary sewer and a water line, all that's under the pavement currently. But it would be good, Avita is improving that site that will be under partially asphalt and partially sidewalks. So it'd be good to just know that if we have to work on any of those utilities that, typically it would be the city bears the cost of any restoration there. But that should be written into part of the easement. But I don't think, the encroachment agreement is just above and beyond, but I don't think we have to do it.
We don't have to do the encroachment agreement.
Correct, but we do need to put in place an easement.
Perfect.
And putting an easement in place, does that require legislation?
Yes.
Probably,
Yes, 'cause it's-
Avita and their surveyor would be the one creating the plat and legal description, and then their legal should create the easement, and your legislation would just be authorizing the service director to sign that easement, and law director if that's needed,
Okay.
to sign that easement, but there should be no work that the city has to do to create that.
That's what I like to hear.
And you're saying that we would just sign an encroachment agreement with them that they create?
Not an easement, just an easement. Yeah, it doesn't have to be, the encroachment agreement is it's an above and beyond type of thing. But all of that verbiage can be written into a normal easement as far as restoration and all that.
Okay, after all that, Brandon, what do we need?
We need a resolution that says we authorize and direct the service safety director and myself to sign the easement that will be created by Avita regarding all of the things he just said.
The utilities in the Plants Way
Perfect.
right away, the vacated Plants Way right away.
Go ahead.
So the city owns that street now.
Mhm.
And we're conveying title to street to Avita, but we're retaining
The easement
easement
for all the
through it,
utilities. Yeah,
basically, whatever resolution conveyed the roadway to Avita, we retained and didn't ever give them the easement. Or are we asking for it back because we accidentally gave them full title?
I don't, none of that has been vacated yet. That roadway as a part of the normal process with Avita, they're putting in the new connector roadway between Pleasant Hill Drive and Plants Way. That road, north and south section, it cannot be vacated until the city accepts that new connector road. So the city still retains ownership right now of that right of way because the vacation plan.
Title or vacated, or is it wrote in it at that time, we're conveying it, except we're retaining the easement?
It probably should be, because there will be a plat that goes, a vacation plat that goes along with the vacation of that road. And on that vacation plat, the easement should be able to be shown there.
Is this, we've already done a piece of legislation vacating and a piece of legislation dedicating. That was something different?
Yes, because
Okay.
those were both, if I remember correctly, those were both pending approval and acceptance of the street improvements.
So in other
They're
words,
building a road right out there currently. we don't own that road until we accept the final improvements.
So then the two pieces of legislation that we passed should not have been passed?
I don't know that, but I think that they would, it should have been, I guess, I don't know for certain, it should have been put in place that they were contingent on acceptance of the roadway.
Oh, there was nothing, no reference to contingent.
Well, we've had the discussion with Avita. I do know that. Yeah. I know we have discussed that with them, but again, I don't have the legislation.
Legal firm, that legislation.
No, it wasn't.
Wasn't there an outside legal firm that had something to do with that, all them?
Well, I mean, the legislation, was it prepared by outside legal counsel or Avita's?
Does it matter at this point? What do we need to do to fix it? Just this
So-
resolution?
Kelly has something.
Kelly, go ahead.
May I repeat the motion
I
that
don't have any of
Dylan
my Avita
suggested,
stuff with me.
so we got it correct?
Sure.
Did you say authorize the service safety director and law director to sign Avita's easement for utilities and vacated Plants Way?
That would be within the vacated portion of Pleasant Hill Drive, not Plants Way.
Okay,
Yeah.
vacated portion of
Pleasant Hill Drive, yep.
Thank you.
I know that.
Are you good with that?
That wasn't prepared by
Can you
outside.
read it back to me?
Yes. I have authorizing the service safety director and law director to sign Avita's easement for utilities and vacated portion of Pleasant Hill Drive.
Does this need to be an emergency? I don't think
I
so, because.
Don't think so.
I don't think so. All right, no emergency.
And then one more quick question. Did you say in the future then we'll have to have a second piece of legislation to accept the road that they can
Well, there may be legislation in place already, but the legislation that's in place should be contingent on acceptance from an engineering standpoint and a build-out standpoint.
So in other words, the road has to be complete before we accept it.
Correct. We gave Avita the option to either build out the road, we accept the roadway once it's completed, and then the north end of Pleasant Hill Drive is vacated, or I gave them an engineer's estimate for the new portion of roadway and said, you can put up a bond for this amount and we'll go ahead and vacate this north section of Pleasant Hill Drive today. So they had those two options. They chose to just build the road first.
Yeah, that was ordinance 33 and ordinance 34. 34 for the vacating of the north end of Pleasant Hill Drive. That's interesting. There's an H missing there. And then ordinance 33 did the dedicating a public street to be referred to as Pleasant Hill Drive. Those pieces were passed on July 31st. So, what are we gonna do here?
I think we need to legally research the issue out more, because it sounds like there might be some loose ends. And I'd rather be right than having something drawn up and be wrong.
Sure. Brandon,
Should we be making his motion tonight, though?
yeah, can we get this
I'll make a
in
motion with the wording that she read twice.
I'll second that motion.
Aaron?
Yes.
Okay,
Clarissa?
Dylan, I'm looking at your ayes. Are you thinking of something? Or do you not want to say?
No, I just know that how the legislation is written is fine as long as everything goes well, which is what you're kind of getting at here. It is fine as long as everything goes well. And from an administrative standpoint, I mean, we're doing inspections. Mike's been out there doing inspections on the road. We're planning next week to go out there and do inspections of the subgrade. Like, from an administrative standpoint, we're handling it exactly as I've laid out.
And you're saying if everything goes okay, the legislation, these
That's
two
in place is
ordinances
fine.
that have been passed, we're okay.
Mhm.
The only problem is if there's a
If there's
problem.
problems.
Okay. So with that being said, then we want to proceed with.
Yeah, we have the motion and the second, and Jim was starting the vote.
Aaron said yes. Clarissa said,
And-
Yes.
Okay, and I'm going to ask Kelly, you and I have been having a day and a half. Would you mind reading again what it is?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay, I have authorizing the Service Safety Director and Law Director to sign Avita's easement for utilities and vacated portion of Pleasant Hill Drive. There's no emergency, so just period of that.
Okay, now when I did some notes here, I wrote down vacated Plants Way.
Yeah, I misspoke.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
great,
yeah.
okay.
Pleasant Hill Drive, not
Okay.
Plants Way.
You're fine. Okay, thank you, Kelly.
Vicky, yes or no?
Yes, I'm sorry.
So,
Can he finish the vote?
We did.
Yeah.
Brandon, can we have that for October 2nd, which is our committee meeting?
sure can.
Which date again, I'm sorry?
What?
Which date, I'm sorry?
Oh, he wanted it ready for the next committee meeting.
October 2nd. I just wanted. to
But now,
take
did we
roll.
not say that Avita has some work to do? Or,
I mean, they are the ones vacating the road. I believe they've even submitted vacation plat to Mike.
Okay.
I don't remember if that shows an easement on it. I will have to look into that. We can look into that and determine, but as far as I'm concerned, that should all just be one operation.
Okay.
Where the roadway is vacated and upon vacation of the road, the easement takes place for the utilities located within that old right-of-way.
so there should be no problem with us having this presented at the next council meeting for consideration?
No.
Okay.
Committee meeting?
Oh, I thought we were, you're wanting to,
Look at it
I'm
first.
bringing everything.
Got
to
it.
I
committee.
mean, we can, so.
gotcha,
and-
that's fine.
We're not kicking it up to council until.
Okay,
And
fine,
we can, we'll
understand.
research on our end to make sure that everything I'm telling you is correct. And again, I'll talk to Isaac. He's the surveyor. He's the easement guy, not me. But I will confirm everything that I've said, and we'll double check with what's already been submitted to Mike. Because a lot of this may have already been taken care of.
And that next committee meeting's gonna be
October
October
2nd.
2nd. Okay, thank you.
Jim, I
Yeah.
address Mr. Wyatt.
Go ahead.
So, it's my understanding, and maybe I'm wrong, because I'm not an expert on vacation of streets and stuff, but once it's vacated, like the utility easements are automatic during that process.
And that could be.
So is there a possibility that this is unnecessary? Because this was requested by Mike. Mike's the one that requested
Yeah,
this
yeah.
encroachment thing.
Yes, maybe. That's
Yes,
why I said
maybe.
we'll research it.
Let's be safe and just
Yeah.
get it done.
Yeah.
We'll have it next, okay? Brandon? So Brandon, we got the easement, Beverly Drive and Avita for October 2nd.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Open projects, we already covered that, right?
Yes.
Public participation, anybody? Meeting adjourned at 7:02.
Development, September 18th, 2025.
I call the Economic Development Committee to order at 7:06 PM, members present, Terry Spiegel, Vicky DeShawn, Chris Moritz, and myself, Clarissa Scheffler Slater's chair. First up is public participation. Go on.
James Cady, formerly of 216 West Mary Street. I had a question. Does anybody know what happened to the old CIC money?
The auditor did provide information on that, so it looks like there is a balance currently. Do you want to explain what is on here so I'm not misspeaking? I've gotten familiar with these, but it looks like there is a balance sitting on the line in property improvements. Do you just want that?
Does anybody know, next question is after this, you can speak after me. Does anybody know how the CICs really ran?
Yes, we pulled the bylaws in our first meeting. That would be a specialty of the law director who pulled it.
The bylaws, not the bylaws that the city of Bucyrus set. There are already laws that are in effect through the state of Ohio.
So, would you like to take the floor, Mr. Law Director?
Yeah, there's
Thank
an
you.
entire section on the Community Improvement Corporation.
Yeah, you already know what I'm talking about. So if you read the bylaws through the state of Ohio, is what I'm saying. Does anybody knows what that money's used for? It's not to be spent on nothing of the city. It's to be spent on mainly what you said, to improve the city.
Mm-hmm. The
It's
last,
also-
the last one that was
The Community
spent-
Improvement Corporation is a nonprofit. We're allowed to reinvest into the Community Improvement Corporation to keep it running. We're allowed to pay expenses. We're allowed to use that money to expand it, but anything that's left over has to be donated, and usually it's donated back to the city.
Okay, but technically, like, I looked it up. Like, I can pull out my phone and read some of it off. Like, where's my phone? All right, like, this is what I found up on it. And what it was, somebody sparked my interest at the CIC meeting because they said something. So I got in and started looking up what the CIC is used for.
What meeting are you referring to?
Oh, when was it, Kurt? When was the meeting
The second one we held is
that you
The
was not at?
September 9th?
Yes. And then the guy told me some stuff that the city council told me. I'm not going there, but like I told him, but what you said is mainly discrimination. But this is what I found online. The transaction must align with the CIC mission. A social enterprise, a CIC is legally bound to use the assets for benefit of the community. Any property transaction includes involving a realtor, which that's the only thing legally that they did, was bring a realtor in an illegal meeting. It also says,
And so just for clarification, you're talking about this last Tuesday, the 16th?
oh yeah,
Okay.
realtor explained what was all going on. He should have waited until it was publicized, but we're not going there. And it says must serve companies, communities' purpose, and not privately benefit the directors or members in an inappropriate or whatever it is, inappropriate way. I'm not a very good reader. So then then it talks about landlocked and all that nobody part of the CIC, economic development, cannot buy it, okay? But then it says a CIC can receive funding from various sources, including proceeds and fees from property sales. However, these funds are earmarked for specific economic development, and I can't read very good, so I hate reading in front of people. And it says not for general municipal you can look it up when you look it up, okay? I'm just getting down to the nitty gritty of it. And then it says In the most cases, a community improvement corporation, CIC, selling the property could not use the proceeds to fund, which Lynn McKeever said, and Kurt, put a roof on New City Hall. You can't do it. So I'm making sure that y'all know this. It says the CIC funds are restricted to purposes that promote economic, commercial, industries, and civic development.
Mhm.
So if the CIC money that was spent, and according to a couple people at City Hall, if that CIC money was spent downtown doing parking lots, tell me how is that economic development? Please explain it.
Do you want me to answer that, or would you like to answer that, Mr. Law Director?
Better parking lots are important for economic development.
But
So they're public access ones. The ones downtown, if you go to
Baker's on the one, and technically, with the CIC with the money, split it with Baker's, that's legal. Because
would
they
you like
help
me
the
to
business.
answer the question, or do you want to tell
Right,
me?
but what I'm saying, that one's legal. I'm talking about the other ones that they wasted the money.
So I can't answer for what they did in 2021, but from my understanding, if you're paying for the city lots to be repaved, it gives them a place for tourism for people who are coming into the city to park and not lose their car in a pothole.
But the CIC, even though it's a city, this is what I'm saying, the CIC cannot, it is not used for the city. The city cannot, the CIC cannot donate money to the CIC. The CIC cannot donate money to the city. It's to donate back, which Baker's own the one public lot that's downtown. When you look it up, Baker's own that lot. The CIC
So
did
this
help
sounds, in my opinion, this sounds like something that needs to be brought back to the CIC.
They don't know nothing. Economic development is where it should be at. You should be the head of the CIC. Look it up. I've done a lot of research. When I tell you somebody lit a fire underneath my butt, somebody has lit a fire.
Right, because somebody who's not even on council decided that you unilaterally, from my understanding from the last meeting, were not gonna be leased to, correct?
No, he mainly just said, I don't want your business here in this town. That's mainly what he said. It's all on camera. That's mainly what he said.
Right, so I'm saying one individual, not the entire board.
One individual, it's like this, one individual can light something on fire that can burn down a whole city, like I told him. I will investigate it, and if the CIC spent the money wrong, do you know, and it's on camera, Kurt has
Then
it on camera.
what I'll say is
I told
if
him,
this,
I said, do he know what arbitration is?
if this vendetta is against the CIC because somebody said that they don't want your
Not a
business,
vendetta.
then,
That's not a vendetta.
then what I would suggest then is whatever steps you need to take, the person you need to be talking to is this individual right here, or you can file with the court. I can't change anything that's happened from the past, none of us can. All I can do is focus in on how to improve it.
Technically, when you look it up, it's called investigation of the old CIC, the same economic development person you took over. And Brandon knows that charges can be pressed because they fraudulently used that money. You cannot fraudulently use
From
something.
2021, when I was not in this position. So
But it's
the
still-
last
but it's
time it was
still
spent,
government.
if that's what you believe, then what I can tell you is, this is not the
Right.
arena to be doing this
I can put
in.
this to bed. Ohio Revised Code 1724.10 in relevant part reads, and I quote, "If any real property or interests in real property conveyed by a political subdivision under this division are sold by the Community Improvement Corporation at a price in excess of the consideration received by the political subdivision from the Community Improvement Corporation, such excess shall be paid to such political subdivision after deducting, to the extent and in the manner provided for in the agreement, the costs of the sale, costs of such acquisition and sale, taxes, assessments, costs of maintenance, costs of improvement to the real property by the Community Improvement Corporation, service fees, and any debt service charges of the corporation attributable to such real property or interest." The CIC is a nonprofit. It can't make a profit. After all of the expenses are deducted that require the CIC to be ran, it has to go back to the city.
But how do you keep it going? Why did this one close? This is what I'm saying. Why did after the first one, why did it close? Why did it not keep going?
They created it just for the Burger King
the Burger
transfer,
King,
and then nobody wanted to
Bakers.
do anything else with it, and it just sat vacant.
Exactly, but it should always stayed open and the money should still been there. It's to put back in, like, one thing that made me mad is how they said, well, we gonna sell the properties, all these property adjacent. That's another thing that made me mad. What, them properties that are big enough to set a house on, there's somebody, like she said, that wants to build a brand new house, okay? Like she offered. Mainly, what she said is true. I like your, I'm not sitting here, what you said
I know you're
was
not,
true.
I know that
She,
you're not.
that is
direct-
mainly, that money is to, like, let's say if she knows somebody wants to build a brand new house, that's what that money is used for. It's to help bring economic back into the city. That,
Well-
man, you go online and look this up.
The only thing that I will argue with that is that we can't just be giving money to somebody to build a house.
It's not. What I'm saying is that money is mainly, the CIC can take that money. Let's say if they sell, the realtor bought that building for $275,000. You can build a new house on one of them properties and turn it down around and resell it,
What I
like the
think-
Metro or something.
What I think is being conflated is that we can either use it to buy more properties.
More properties, or you invest it back into the community. You
Right.
build your
And-
community with that
And
money.
that money, as stated in the statute, goes, they're bringing it back to the city for them
It
to
should never
decide.
come back to the city.
That is at the discretion of the CIC.
No, it's not.
That's what you're saying. If they're not reinvesting in new property, then it has to
Whose
go back.
Ohio revised code is that? Because when you look up CIC, this is what I did. I looked up CIC online, man. I've searched it all up. I didn't screenshot every nitty-gritty part of it. Just what I thought was wrong. Because in Cincinnati, they got a CIC, and it's been going for years. Columbus does too.
Those are both charter cities. Their CICs play by different rules.
So I think our CIC should play by our charter city rules.
We can't, because we're statute limited. We have to follow what the statute says because we don't have our own charter. I think of a charter as like, not the
Well, then I
definition,
think we
but
should
as
tie
a-
in with Galleon, Crestline, and bring it all together.
But that's where they're talking about joint economic development. That's different than the CIC.
But if you do it, then you're a charter. You're chartering out.
That's not what it is. A charter is basically an agreement on how the city is going to be ran based on the home rule provisions in the Ohio State Constitution. Is the simplest way to put it.
So you saying it's a good idea to sell these property off, donate the money back to the city, and just blow it? Technically, right? Just asking. Just
I mean,
asking.
that's your opinion on the parking lots. The last investment, you're saying that that money was blown because it improved parking lots for everybody to use for tourism, which is part of economic development. Your opinion is, you're saying, is that money was blown.
No, it's not put where it needed to be.
Again.
A parking lot, listen, a parking lot,
again,
everybody wants to
opinion
know
from
how you bring people
a
back to
choice.
Bucyrus.
Right.
Like you said, how do you get people to move back here with kids? You're not gonna get nobody to move
James.
back here when you don't have stuff for kids. Like, that's
James.
one reason why I moved out of Bucyrus.
What are you wanting us to do in 2025 of a decision that was made in 2021?
It's called somehow, some way, since you're the head of it, and you gotta
But
take
I'm
care
not.
of
That's a
this.
charter city. That's the statute for the
Okay,
charter
but
city.
anyway, since you're part of it, and you wanna get people back in this town,
Yeah, I do.
if they sell the stuff that they wanna sell off, get stuff here for kids. You're not gonna move nobody to this city. You're not gonna bring no jobs into this city.
Unless
If
you
you ain't got stuff for kids.
I don't disagree with you.
Kurt, how long have I been standing up here saying this about kids? Gotta bring stuff here for kids. I got kicked out of here for saying exactly what I'm standing here saying now, right?
Mr. Cady, I have a 2 and a 4-year-old. I am on board with that 100%.
So you
Baby
take the
steps.
money. So what you do is when the CIC does it, you take the money bring stuff for kids. You want people here, you want people to move businesses and stuff here. Like I said, I don't hold a vendetta against, like the mayor said, James, he's only one vote. I don't care. But
But you said he lit a fire under you, which
yeah, he
means he
lit a
made you
fire under me.
angry. That's what I'm saying.
Lit a fire under me to find out why didn't the old CIC invested,
Okay.
instead of parking lots, invested into the kids.
I can't change anything that was done in 2021. But that been the choice that I made, I don't know because I wasn't there and I don't know all the circumstances. What I'm saying is we can focus on what we can do forward, which in the last committee meetings, we talked about being a multifaceted approach, right? Businesses, community, residents, tourism.
That's how you're gonna get it here. Like
Exactly.
I said, I agree with everything you said.
Yeah. We're on
But-
the same page.
Somehow, some way, that money, that $97,000 went on parking lots. Come on, man. It should be investigated. But somehow, some way, I don't feel that that's economic development. Just saying. I was arguing.
It's not cheap. It's not cheap. I think it was almost 6 figures the last time I've seen it.
And then, by the way, Baker's own that. The city did give them money to pay that out of the CIC fund.
I can't speak on it because I wasn't.
Yeah, I know the whole situation. That's the only way how they got away with what they did, because they did help out business.
Yeah, none of us were,
Yeah.
none of us were there, so you
That's how
know,
they got
that's
away
what I'm
with it.
saying. All right. Any other public participation? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to the agenda that I just hid for myself. Jed and Sita. I closed my computer and I needed it. Story of my life. All right, one moment. Where's my other note? All right, Jed and Sita. So I feel like this has been kind of Groundhog Day since we've been talking about Jed and Sita for quite some time. This was going on before I was even on council. Joint Economic Development Districts. I want to kind of just go over it so people understand what they are, and then we can explain it further. So there are agreements between the city and surrounding townships. The city can provide benefits to them at in-city rates, so infrastructure services, sewer and water rates would be inside rates. Right now, that's something I'm going to address about it. They would get, businesses in the JED program would get a income tax that's shared between the city and the township, and the land remains in the township, so it's not annexed. So the township generates revenue, we also generate revenue, we share services. The difference between a JED and a CETA, I know they're like back to back, but they're kind of related, so I'm grouping them together. They're a little bit different because they provide community economic development agreements, so consider them as like contracts. They have annexation moratoriums. They have tax sharing between the city and the township, and joint planning and development between the township and the city. So they're a little different, but they're related. The surrounding townships, just so people are aware that what we're talking about, would be Holmes to the northwest, Liberty to the northeast, Bucyrus to the southwest, and Whetstone to the southeast. We're kind of boxing with those 4 townships. There's some properties that are near like the Crossroads Industrial Center that are not incorporated. That's in Holmes Township. The Liberty Township is at the 3098 interchange. If you think of the, I just forgot the name of the auctioneer's place. Like they're not incorporated, as well as like Timken is not incorporated. Oberlanders, and there's some other business. Firelands I don't think is incorporated. Like those properties are not incorporated. Whetstone, so like south of the airport and State Route 4. So the reason why this this is something that we haven't been doing, that other communities around here are doing. And the reason why this is a big deal is that we've kind of become the open pocket for the county when it comes to water and sewer, mostly water. They're paying the exact same rate outside of the city as inside of the city, but they're not paying, I mean, maybe they live in town, maybe they shop in town, but when it comes down to it, they're not paying the property taxes to support, or generating the revenue through income tax to support the services that they're getting. So they're literally paying for the water that's going into their pipes, but they're not paying for us going out and servicing them. So we have two options essentially for that. We can use a JET or CETA, or we can raise the outside rate to reflect the true cost instead of raising the rates for all citizens. That is something that's done by the Safety Service Director that we'd have to coordinate with. But the long and skinny of it is that we can't do this just in committee. It's going to have to be like a joint planning board. And that is outside of the Planning Commission's scope of practice because it's outside of city limits. So we would need to essentially have the planning board proposal and draft legislation. That's what's gonna have to be our new focus on the issue. It's not gonna be about the nitty-gritty of what is incorporated in each township, who is even going to participate in the township. But it is, from my understanding, and I will have the law director double check, it is completely legal for us to decide to put a service charge on the water rates that is reasonable for outside city limits, if they're not in a JET or CETA, and basically you could waive that fee if they decide to participate. So, long story short, I think next steps, we could have a special meeting where we just talk about JET CETA. Or we could, my thoughts are, and this is up to the committee, that we have a special meeting for JET CETA, but explicitly about the planning, setting out a planning board or commission for JET CETA specifically. That way we can get input from people who have more experience with this than we do and can operate outside of us four. So I wanted the opinion of the committee on what they think is best. I don't think this is something we should try to tackle on our own. I think we should get more eyes and more expertise on it.
I definitely agree with that.
I mean, I think the first step we need to do is to contact townships and see if there's an interest in it. Because it's my understanding that they would get, we can negotiate them some income tax revenue.
Right.
Which they do not get at all now.
Correct. It would
And-
generate revenue for both of us.
Yes.
The only thing that I can say is, I don't disagree with you. But I think if we don't have a plan, they might be wishy-washy. If we're just coming at them with a blank slate of, hey, do you want to do this? Then be like, we hem and haw for how long? I don't know.
There was, at that meeting I went to, there were some trustees there, so they know what it is.
Right, right.
And I got the opinion they weren't that interested in it, in my opinion. I don't know what Jim thought about it, but I did not think too much of it. But
Jeremy, we already have a planning commission.
Yeah, their scope is for the inside the city limits, but there's no scope for this.
For them, because when the lawyer explained it to us, it was in between the administration and the townships. They come up with agreement, they give it to a lawyer, he comes up with a contract, and they both sign it.
That's a CRA.
Yeah.
But JET is different than a CRA.
True,
So that's why these decisions to be made, I don't think we can solve it us
CETA is for existing
four.
businesses, JED is for incoming businesses. So, I don't know, it's my 2 cents.
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, the easiest thing to do is make them pay their fair share, since we've been basically giving them free aid when it comes to free services, I guess, for servicing their lines. Go ahead.
Logan Beeman. That's exactly what I was going to say. What's stopping us from just giving them a service charge, and then if they want out of it, they
Then
can
you
do
have
a
a
JED or
JED.
CETA. Yeah.
Greg White, 1125 Hillcrest Drive. Me and Terry talked after the last meeting. We both agreed. I've already talked to several people that were at that meeting. Trustees want nothing to do with this city. You're wasting time. Okay? I proposed to Terry the last time. He kind of agreed with me that a letter should be sent to the trustees by the administration, because that's where it is. It's between the administration and the trustees, not with this council. To send that letter off, to ask them if they even would consider either one of these, an informal letter, and that's all it takes. And then if they don't want to become, if any of the townships do not want to become involved, then it's dead. It's over. Move on. Quit beating a dead horse deader. Okay? This has been going on for months and months, since last year, when we kept getting no report on JED and CETA, okay, by the former third ward council person.
And we
Nothing.
had a meeting about the JED or CETA, what was it, the 3rd week in August? So we've had 2 meetings since.
No, I'm talking about way before that.
Yeah.
Last year, when all this was brought up and it was all talked about, we kept getting no report over the third ward council person. Nothing was being done about JED and CETA. It was just being kicked down the road.
Right.
Okay? So the thing is, why do you guys keep beating a dead horse? This council has no authority over JED or CETA. It is administration and the trustees. And Terry knows that that's what that attorney said. Point blank.
That's what he said.
Okay.
Point blank.
Well, we
It's
could-
between
we
them.
could-
It's between
We
the
can tell or ask the administration to do that.
Yeah, you guys can ask the administration to do it, but you as a council, or
I'm
as
fine
this
with it just
committee,
taking off of.
you can't do anything. Now, if you guys want to raise the out-town water rates,
That's the
you
safety
can do
service
that.
director
They
too.
can do that all you want.
That's the
But,
safety
I mean,
service director.
Why keep
Huh?
beating this horse dead?
Well, and Kurt, weren't you the one that referred this to council?
Okay, I don't really want to point fingers.
No,
Let's
but I'm
I
just
will say,
saying
like,
that,
why don't we
you know,
just?
that's why we were looking at it.
Yeah, it was
because
referred clear back in 2024 to council.
Yeah, I remember the JED
And
CETA.
then it
were
was
wrong.
assigned to the Economic Development Chairman, Mr. Hickman, who was the third ward council person. And then all of a sudden, every time it came up, well, I don't know what's going on. Well, we're waiting on a meeting. We're waiting on a meeting. We can go back to the videotapes, and I bet you it all is stated in there every time that we had committee meetings.
I was here.
It was like nothing,
Yeah.
crickets, okay? So now all of a sudden, this attorney basically told everybody, this is the way you have to do it. It's pretty simple to do, and if it doesn't want to happen, it's over. Move on. Thank you.
I agree.
So
If they're not interested, let's just, and we have no authority on it, let's just take it off of open projects.
What's that? Can you repeat that?
If we have nothing to do with it, and
All we have to
They
do
are not
with it
interested.
is to present it to the administration. Ask them to send that letter to the townships and see,
is that even our authority, though?
we can ask them to do it. They don't have to do it. But what we could do is possibly have an open meeting where we invite that attorney here we talked to us before, and you could get the whole council on what he said. You could explain a little bit better. I mean, he was pretty good at explaining it. I'm sure he'd come down to us and talk to us. I think he's,
Well, I mean, if he's basically saying we have nothing to do with it, then why are we even, again, beating a dead horse?
well, what we have to do with it is, the rates, if we want to raise those. That's our.
We can direct the safety service director, but that's separate from JED or CETA. That would probably need to go to service.
But that would be I don't want to say it,
Bargaining
make them
chip.
come into it.
Yeah,
They
it's a
say,
bargaining
well,
chip.
we're gonna charge you a surcharge if you do not come into it. And then that's like forcing them, and do you want them in a forced one? And it's.
I don't know
mean,
why
it's-
I don't know why they thought that they had to get rid of the out-of-town rate when they decided to sell to Nevada, but that's exactly what they did.
No, it was before that. It was when we went to North Robinson.
It was prior to that?
Yeah.
So the majority of, like, when I did the deep dive research into it, the majority of, we can't really talk about this, actually. We can't talk about the water
Okay.
rates, but, yeah, I can bring it up some other time.
In fact, it was brought up at a council meeting on February 6, 2024, is in the open projects when it was.
Did we get an updated, is this am I looking at an old one? The CRA rewrap is not on there. That was supposed to be next. I don't know if this is an old one.
What?
So what I'm looking at.
This must be an old one. That's fine.
So I got a question. So this is what it seems like to me. The old administration did a lot of crooked, good old boy stuff. Got away with it. This administration got stuck with their finger to sit on to try to figure out what they did. I'm just trying to make sure I'm getting this.
From my I'm not gonna point a finger at a specific administration, but from what I have seen from being involved up here is that there's been a long list of kicking cans down the road that is now all coming to a head all at once.
So, Brandon, as an attorney, you can't go after Jeff Reeser and that administration for just blowing the people's money?
They didn't blow money. No more than anybody else does.
Well, running water lines all the way out and didn't get nothing, getting no money back out of it or anything. It sounds like to me the people of
That's the wrong
Bucyrus.
part. That's not this committee.
Yeah, that's gonna be service.
That's service.
But again, it's actually administration that you should be
Chris.
speaking to about it.
Since you're the head of the other committee.
Well, you can talk
understand
about
what
it,
I'm
hey,
saying, right?
you can.
Talk about that in service.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, well, we'll move on to
So-
rewrap CRA.
What are we doing?
Nothing.
I mean, are
We have
we,
to, if we want to do anything, we have to approach the administration on it.
okay.
Ask them if they will send, if they're interested in sending a letter to the townships.
Well, I guess at that point, it says the
Even if they're interested.
administration even interested, that's up to them.
Find out if they are.
Yeah.
I'll talk to them about it. See, yeah. Okay.
I'm very much of the mind, if it's their jurisdiction, I don't really want to mess
Yeah.
with it. If you're saying that they basically showed up and were very blasé about it, didn't care about it, didn't want to do it, I mean, why?
That's the idea, I don't know if Jim did the same thing, but I thought the townships did not want to get anything with us. But if we approach it right and tell them they're going to get income tax revenue from it that they don't get now, I'm sure that some people's going to wake up to it.
There you go, amen.
Yes.
Right, but if that was explained to them,
Yeah, that's what's got to be explained in that letter when we,
but if it was already explained to them at that meeting, they don't care.
but it was only one or two trustees from each
Gotcha.
one. And they might not go back and tell them all that. You don't know.
And not all the townships are represented.
Yes.
They don't want to get screwed.
So do we have a motion to ask the administration to,
We don't need that. I
Okay,
I
yeah, just go
I'll
ask 'em.
talk to them.
yes?
One of the biggest advantages for the townships to agree to a JED is situations where there's directly contiguous property, think large amounts of farmland that are continually being annexed in situations where the property owner is consenting. There's certain things like the Aldi one. That was annexed, the townships were never, the townships don't have to sign off in that, it's like a type 2 annexation situation. And, you know, they're saying they don't want, if they're saying they don't want in a JED now, and then situations come up where, let's say a large developer's coming in, they buy a piece of farmland, they say, we want to be annexed in because we want to 8-inch water main, and the only way the city's gonna agree to run something like that is if you annex in. So, in those situations, the townships could be losing their
Land.
township without their consent.
Right.
And it could continue on, and it could continue out as far as it can go. But in a JED CETA, it can be writ that there will be no annexation.
Right, a
So-
moratorium on annexation. I mentioned that. No, I don't disagree with you, but I'm saying like, I don't like sticking my thumbs in pies that aren't my business
So
when it comes
in addition to
council.
the possible income tax revenue they could be getting, they could be getting a guarantee of the no annexation. And then the other, where I see a potential benefit to, like around where the Timken subdivision is, and you got all this weaving in and out.
It's
and,
terrible.
The ambulance service. So
Yeah.
certain areas, you're getting an ambulance from, you know, however far away it is to drive to Sulphur, and then you walk across the street and you fall over and you're getting an ambulance from just downtown Bucyrus. So in
Would
those
be-
situations, those residents, if those residents decide they don't feel like an ambulance is coming quick enough, they can pressure their trustees, township trustees, to start negotiating with the administration and saying, hey, maybe we want a JED or a CETA, but just in this little pocketed area here.
And the thing is, what I say though, is that sounds all well and good, but we end up doing it anyway, so they don't care. The Timken runs everything, like, you know, whenever there's anything out there, we're doing the runs anyway because we have that joint service agreement, so they don't care. I mean, that's what I'm saying, we've been the open hand for how long?
That's not true.
On a squad call, it's not true. If they have,
What Kurt's saying is correct. The urgent healthcare, I watched it. I was sitting in a Napa parking lot and a squad call came, and an ambulance came all the way from Sulphur Springs to go to the urgent healthcare, right there beside
that's ridiculous.
Rigo.
But from my understanding, if they're not available or they're too far away, they'll tell them the joint service thing makes them
If they're
go.
not available. In this, then
Gotcha.
already got another call.
Well,
I believe it also says in there that they can say no if it would put their specific jurisdiction in danger by complying with it. So if there's only one ambulance for Sulphur Springs, for example, they can say no.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's for offering mutual aid. You can't deplete your local resources to extend mutual aid. So we could say, we're not gonna send one to you if it depletes our resources. You can't say no to yours because your own jurisdiction you cover.
Okay.
what's next?
So, what's next? The CRA rewrap program. I'll basically sum it up as, I think, again, that this probably should go to some sort of development board. I don't think that I think this is, there's too many options. There needs to be experts looking at this to make sure it's done right. We can have an idea and a vision, but I don't know if we are the appropriate people to be making the decisions on what is dilapidated properties and which areas should be prioritized. You know, what percentages we should be reducing abatements by. Like I said before, it's pretty much all cut and paste when it comes to the percentages and the cutoffs and the floors for the abatements. However, we can either, again, make a special council meeting or committee meeting explicitly to discuss that further, or we can look for some sort of board to administer the program, and then that board would then become the CRA board. Thoughts, comments?
Well, I know when we did the CRA for commercial, are you talking about, and I believe it was, I want to say Poggemeyer, but don't hold me to that. I mean, it was another firm that came in and did all the behind-the-scene work.
They did the housing study and everything too,
Right, exactly, yes.
Right, and that was from 2018, so I don't know. When I read the statutes, it said that we have to have a housing study on file. My question is this updating what we have currently? Or, I wouldn't see it as a scrapping, I think it's including the residential. Because right now, we're basically, like the CIC, bringing it back from the dead. Because there's no one actively using it. We have no board. We have no officer that does the inspection. Like, we have no. Right. I don't disagree with you, James. That's what I'm trying to figure out too, bud.
The CIC should have never been dead. The CRA should have never been dead. Somebody needs to investigate. That's all I say.
So what can we do moving forward? Should we set up a special committee or council meeting, look into it further, see what our options are, and discuss it further there?
Special council meeting or?
Special committee meeting, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Why not?
Why not?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Did you guys
fine
get
with
any
that.
dates? Or look at your calendars or anything? So,
Want to start throwing dates out?
I don't know how far out you guys want to go. I'm trying to think if they have the CIC meeting Tuesday. We already talked about that. Are we wanting to do like next week, 2 weeks after the next council meeting? What are we thinking? What do you guys? You have like different shifts.
I work 2 days on days, 2 days on second, 2 days on third, 2 days off, yeah.
So,
I got the next 3 months right here, probably what
Okay.
days I work.
what, like you work second?
Right
or-
now, is one of my days off.
Okay. Do you want to do a day, well, I guess I'll defer to you, what's best for you, Chris, since your schedule's kind of all over the
Well,
place.
Pull September back up here. September, my next 2 days totally off are the 25th and the 26th. That's when I'm not on any shifts.
Well, then I'll ask
For
you
this month.
if you want to spend time at a committee
Those 2 days
meeting.
are fine. I'm not working. The only thing I'm doing is, I think the 25th, I'm taking my Harley in for its first exam, so.
Well, that's
other than
Thursday
that-
and, so we're looking at the 25th Thursday and the 26th Friday. I'm available after noon Thursday and all Friday.
I'm available all day except for like 10 in the morning when I drop the bike off. Other than that,
Well, I do have to, well, I can arrange pickup for school, so.
Either
I'm good,
days.
like from 5 to 7, I got a church council at night, 7 o'clock, so,
That's on Thursday,
yeah.
and I'm free either one of those days.
I guess what do you, does anyone have a preference?
27th, and we could, at 5 o'clock, if you want to have it then, that'd be fine, all right with me.
Did you say the 27th?
You mean the
27th, yeah.
That's
That's a
Saturday.
Saturday.
I'm sorry, 25th, Thursday.
Thursday's
I
25th.
got
You
a
want to do it
council-
Thursday?
I got a church council meeting at 7 o'clock.
Right.
Okay, so are you saying you want to have it that day or not have it that
We
day?
can have it earlier, don't matter.
Okay,
I don't want to have it on a Friday.
afternoon? Any time preference?
4?
4? All right. So we'll have a special committee meeting for economic development. Excuse me. Thursday, September 25th, to discuss CRA re-rep. 4 p.m., correct?
Yep.
And we're doing it here?
Yes.
Okay.
And then, Kelly, do you mind doing Thank you. Sorry. All right, anything else on CRA rewrap before we move on? Put a
and a
lockbox on.
onesie and a twosie, black fur, pointy ears on.
What in the world? Siri is possessed. Anyway.
I didn't get that. Can you try again?
No. So sorry. It's even on silent. I don't even know how that happens. Okay. Anything else regarding that? All right. Public participation? I want to know what the heck it thought I said. Seeing none, we will adjourn at 7:51.
September the 18th, 2025, Health and Safety Committee. I call the Health and Safety Committee meeting to order at 7:59 PM. First on the agenda, public participation.
Greg Wyatt, 1125 Hillcrest Drive. Mr. Sean, I would like to know what's going on with all our legislation out of this committee. This is ridiculous. I mean, flat ridiculous. I mean, the former law director had no problem, no issues getting legislation done, but all of a sudden, we're at a standstill with this, legislation on what? 8 things out of this committee?
And I think if you've been listening, when you've been coming to the
Oh, I listen.
both council and committee meetings, I have been asking.
I know you have. That's what I'm saying. I understand you've been asking, but I said, this is ridiculous. This stuff needs to get done. Okay? Plain and simple. Okay? 2, and this was from the last committee meeting, when I brought up some issues about the Bratwurst Festival and food trucks, and Mr. Myers was supposed to, quote unquote, talk to the fire chief about this. And my thing is this, is I was given a letter, okay, by the fire chief that I think is the most ridiculous, atrocious letter I've ever received from anybody, okay, to tell me that people have to go to the Bratwurst Festival to ask about a code violation, okay?
You got this after our last meeting?
Yes, sir. It's all public records. Came right out of
Do you
public
believe
records.
that my conversation I had with him spurred that, or?
I have no idea, sir, but I have pictures, some great pictures of the Bratwurst Festival and all the violations of the food truck laws by the state code. And matter of fact, City of Bucyrus has adopted the Ohio Fire Code and also NFPA. So why aren't we enforcing the fire code when we're doing food trucks? Okay? And why, at the last part of that letter, was it stated and signed by the fire chief that, they would go to the Bratwurst Festival and talk to them about issues, violations. I've never heard that before in my whole entire career, over 45 years in fire service, that we went to a festival and asked them about a code violation. Okay? The code violations that I saw on that particular day were numerous. It was ridiculous. They don't even meet the state standards. And I find that, did the welfare, as it says in all our legislation, was the safety and the welfare of the citizens and visitors of this city, violated because nobody was enforcing any rules or regulations on these food trucks at all, or food vendors? I mean, some of these people had rags over their fire extinguishers, trash buildup around their thing. Where it says no smoking or emergency shutoff wasn't clearly marked. These are all violations of the fire code. It's in itself, the state fire code. That's why I was waiting to see what we were going to do on food trucks, because are we putting people at risk here? That's what I want to know. I don't know what your conversation was with the chief.
I was waiting on you to finish so I could share
Okay.
that as now a good time for you.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I telephoned him, I didn't go see him in person, and his statement to me was essentially he has already sent everything to the law director that he had, and he believes that what we had was ready to go.
But we have no inspection forms. We have nothing that an inspection was actually performed. There's no documentation of nothing. Was it a visual inspection? There's no documentation. I asked for it through public records. There's nothing. Absolutely nothing. anytime you do an inspection, it has to be an official document. That's under the Ohio Fire Code. Okay, it's spelled out very precisely. Okay? Anything you do, now the health department, they have all the records of all the health inspections that they did during the Bratwurst Festival. It's down to every nick and thing that they asked for, they had to provide and show that proof that they met the code, met the health and safety codes of the state of Ohio and Crawford County. But our fire department doesn't have to do that. Go ahead.
I think one of the things that we might be able to do, since it seems like we're doing this, right? Maybe we can request that the fire chief appear at our next meeting so that these questions could be answered.
No, it's fine.
Do you have intentions of being at the next meeting?
Oh, probably so.
Okay.
I'll
I didn't want to
be here,
assume, but I kind of
because
assumed.
I want to find out what the truth is.
So.
I mean, to me, people expect the truth. I mean, we've heard other people on council say, we want transparency, we want transparency. Okay? But.
Maybe if we could put this
But
on our
is that,
agenda and request
are we
his
just
presence.
getting lip service, or are we actually going to push the issue? That's my thing. Thank you.
Mrs. DeShawn?
Yes.
Would it be fair to request that be placed on the agenda, request what the law director has prepared for the next meeting, and request that the clerk reach out to the fire chief and request his presence at our next committee meeting? Yeah. Is that all fair requests? Okay.
Clarissa Slater, 3645 State Route 4.
Hey, can you hit the microphone? Sorry.
I will ask the fire chief, however, I know that he's expecting to be a grandfather any time in that frame, so there may be a chance that he may not be able to attend.
Understandable. I was just really asking if you could request his presence.
I will, but just.
And maybe if he tells you that he's not able to, if you could convey that to us and to Mr. White, that'd be great.
Absolutely, I just want to throw that out there
Fair.
that he's just in that time frame in there, so I'll just let you know.
Okay.
Just to clarify, this last interaction was about the Bratwurst Festival or the pending food trucks?
Food trucks. Mr. White was just basically making a reference to the inspection process that we're trying to get established through legislation from this committee, a time that he witnessed it here in our community where he believes that the inspections were not done properly, and I think we're trying to get answers to that.
So he wants
So-
answers for the previous the inspections, or wanting?
I think what
us
he's
to do something?
referencing was the 2025 Bratwurst Festival when he's talking about those inspections, and he requested physical copies of the inspections, and he was told there were none.
And that's our legislative duty how?
Yeah.
Because we are working on legislation setting the Ohio Fire Code to be what we're doing for our food truck inspections. It's exactly what this committee's been discussing for 8 months now.
But how does him not getting those records have anything to do with what you guys are doing?
Because we're trying to put it into our legislation. If there's a reason, I'm questioning now too, if we're not gonna put them on paper, do we need to change what we're doing in our legislation?
I understand that's a good example, but my whole thing is like, why aren't we referring him to those people who
I
have
believe
this
he's
stuff?
already spoke with them and unhappy with his answer. I believe it's our duty as his representatives to try to help him get his questions answered and to get our questions answered for the legislation we're working on.
I'm totally fine with us setting out that. I'm just saying, like, it just seems like every time we come up here, it's an administration question, an administration question, an administration question. And look who's not here, the administration.
I've already made that
Yeah,
point.
I know, I'm not disagreeing, I'm saying it would be great if
Yeah.
those questions could be turfed to them instead of us having to be the whipping post for Bucyrus. Cool, thanks.
Any more public participation? See. Oh.
Seeing one more.
Alena Fox, 401 Ridge Avenue. Having coming to these meetings and being concerned about the safety of us all in this building, I've noticed that there's a battery going dead. I just chirped right now on one of the smoke detectors, I'm assuming. I'm not sure who's responsible for that. I know the fire department does go out to a lot of homes in the community and installs those and helps people to maintain that safety. So Could someone please refer that to the safety
This
service
person's job,
director?
yeah.
Or,
That guy right
someone,
there.
yes, to make sure that that battery is addressed and the safety of that smoke detector is maintained?
And do we know which one it is, Elena?
I believe,
It's downstairs
Yes.
by the elevator.
correct.
Okay,
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you.
thank you.
And can I just reflect back, I missed the public lands, was it determined about which trees were going to be taken down? Or has that not yet been
There
answered?
wasn't-
Not
Okay,
yet, but
thank
we're
you.
gonna, I
Thank
have that
you.
question for when finance talks about it.
Very
so.
good. Thank you so much.
Miss Vicky, since you're the director, I got a question. I heard this when I was in my semi, them e-bikes. And y'all ever seen the e-scooter, e-skateboards?
Mm-hmm.
You looking at me like, what's that? It's
Pardon?
real- It's called an electric skateboard. You
Yeah,
ever
my
seen
son
those?
has one, that's why he gets to class.
Hoverboards and all that?
Okay.
Man, listen, I tell you what, I travel around the world. I seen like the one dude says he always hit somebody. I seen a kid on a hoverboard get smoked by a car out in Indianapolis. I think they should be legislation on that.
Well, we did, e-bikes have
'Cause
been.
I didn't watch it the last meeting.
We were waiting for.
A lot of them are regulated by the state of Ohio.
Right.
We can't enforce certain things on them. What we can do is say that they can't be on our sidewalks, on our walking paths, things like that. But we can't dictate what happens with the electric powered things on the city streets. They have to follow the state of Ohio traffic laws.
Right. I mean, the hoverboards, I rather keep, because my son has one, I rather keep him on the sidewalk on a hoverboard. They don't go very fast. I'm just saying, like, I've seen accidents when, like, dude said he seen the accident of the police officer and all that. I seen one, man. That shit is really, really dangerous. And the people are just wild of them. And then you got people that's building these bikes. They got like a weed eater motor on them. Trust me, I know my brother had a couple of them, but I think there should be something done. Like, cause you know, like he said, he has them. I rode them, and trust me, I'm not a saint. I do stupid things on one of them electric bikes and shit like that. But it does something needs to be done though.
Thank you. Any other public participation? Next on the agenda, we have ordinance number 36-2025, dealing with the Norfolk Southern signal rates.
We're doing 1, 2, or 3.
Or 4.
Well, I put all of
Buckle
this
up, buddy.
in here so I can explain because I'm confused. So you take a look at your packet. If you look at Go Brick number 1, as I have it titled. In front of that is the email where I sent to Mr. Gobrick stating, attached was his draft that I had made observations to, and I asked, should Norfolk and Southern Railroad state that, or should it state Norfolk Southern? We already had the conversation in our last committee meeting. It's to be stated Norfolk Southern. I then brought up that one of the items on his Go Brick number 1 had the East Mansfield Street underpass. I questioned if that should be deleted because the paperwork given to us by the service safety director had the word deleted beside that. So with that being said, we then go to, you see my, again, the Go Brick number 1. Then we go to the next one, which is Go Brick number 2. That has with it the email from Brandon, from Mr. Gobrick to myself, and that was where the night of our September 4th committee meeting, he made the changes, and Gobrick number 2 is what he sent to me. And in those changes, he's changed it to Norfolk Southern. That's great. He's deleted the underpass. In fact, that piece is perfect. But then we come along with Gobrick number 3. And the email attached to that came just a few minutes after the Gobrick number 2 draft. And it says, Kevin pointed out during the meeting a typo we didn't catch. This should be the version used. However, and I did check with Kevin, we were trying to figure out what was the typo
And I
in.
was doing my best to remember it. I knew it was on the second page, but that was about where I stopped thinking.
And what happens with the Gobrick number 3 draft?
Do you remember what the typo was?
You look at number 2 or number 3?
In the caption, very forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, big line down.
But that therefore is, I do believe, the proper therefore.
Yeah.
Okay, so your number 3, Gobrick number 3 draft is all great, but when we get to section 2, if you look at your Gobrick number 2, section 2 talks about, or no, section 3 states that the Service Safety Director of the City of Bucyrus be and he hereby is. But on your Gobrick number 3, it says that the Service Safety Director of the City of Bucyrus be is hereby. But that's the draft that you say is to be used. But I'm not understanding.
We can take out B.
So, okay. So then you come along with, then Kelly sends me an email and says that her and Lisa have made the corrections that I had requested. However, in the caption, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5th line, that therefore, I did not ask to be changed, and I do not believe that that's the correct therefore that it's been changed to. It should be minus the E, because I've looked up what therefore with an E means and what therefore without. So that I do not believe is correct. Then in section 2, the same thing was done in line 1, 2, 3. The therefore had an E added to it, and it should not have an E. I know, but I just want you to understand.
Oh, that wasn't directed at you, that was directed at Kevin.
No, I asked the question after he approved it, why it got changed again. I didn't know who changed it.
Well, what did he approve? I mean, because.
Number 3.
Well, his number 3, but his number 3 doesn't make sense. Because section 3 says, be is hereby.
It's an easy fix.
Okay.
Just take out B.
So use number 3, remove B.
And, okay, I just wanted everyone to understand, I mean, I'm sitting here going, okay, this one,
If
no.
it's any consolation, Vicki, I don't understand.
So, then, just as Mr. Myers states, and let's take a look here. Number 2, therefore, that's good. Section 2, therefore, is good. B and he hereby is. So, or you're saying you want to go with section 3, or you want to go with Gobrick 3?
Use number 3 and take out the word B is what he said was the easiest fix.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Okay. So then, everyone takes a look at Gobrick number 3. And on section 3, mark out the word be in the first line. And everything looks good.
Three.
Section 3, first line, where it says be, or he, or no, it says be, yeah. Be is hereby, cross out the be, and then just say that the Service Safety Director is hereby authorized and directed.
All right, 1 and 2 is gone, right?
And 4.
Yeah, 4, yeah.
Just stick with 3. You good.
All right, you got 3.
See, now weren't those visuals helpful?
Yes.
Everybody say yes.
They were so helpful. I'm so glad that you printed them all off for me.
Thank you, ladies.
Okay, so we all know what we're doing here. All right. So Mr. Gobert number 3 is the one we're going with.
Woohoo!
Just add your name and signature on it.
Yes, right. Your name, yeah, needs to be inserted in there, Kelly. You're correct.
I know he knows that.
That was one more addition, sorry. Minus B plus Kelly.
Okay. And of course, that one does not need to be an emergency. We already knew that. Okay, so I guess the question is, since it doesn't need to be an emergency, do you want to just, I know because as Mr. Fankhauser has pointed out, he wants us to always look at the final, the committee, to make sure it's okay before we pass it on to council. Are we fine with,
I think with that one, those are such minor changes.
and I agree,
Change.
well,
Kelly,
no,
add
Kelly's
Kelly.
name. Kelly's got
That's
her
two.
name in there, yeah. Yeah, okay. So with that being said, somebody want to make a motion to?
I'll make a motion to go ahead and take this finalized amended version where we are taking out the word B in the number 3 and adding Kelly's name to her signature line and sending that to the full council.
I put Gobert number 3 in the motion.
Minus the B.
Second,
I already got one over here.
third.
Now Kelly will attest, if you saw the other emails that, well, I pretty well were, oh my gosh.
Yeah, you confused the crap out of me today.
Pardon?
You confused the crap out of me.
Well, I was confused, yes. Okay, so we're all set on that one. Okie
You gotta
dokie.
vote.
Next.
You gotta-
Oh,
you gotta
I'm
motion
sorry.
and
See, I'm
second.
so excited that we got this. Okay, so.
I did the motion, Mr. Me did your second.
All right, motion by Sherry, second by me, roll call. Sherry?
Yes.
Me?
Yes.
Myers?
Yes.
DeShawn, yes. Motion passes. Okay, next. Taxi cab. Mr. Gobert, we still have not received the drafts, or the draft that you've told me or promised me 2-3 times you were gonna email them. First to me, and then we requested all the committee members.
Well, yeah, but in one of your emails, you said, you directed me to where the changes were made. I'm making sure that they're right.
Well, I know you said that at the council meeting, so you're still,
Yes.
so,
Contrary to popular belief, I do have a job.
Really?
I don't.
so may I ask when? Because really, I mean, taxi cab, those were so, I mean, they're all highlighted. But anyhow, okay, I've done my part. I brought it to your attention.
Can you pass that down to me?
These are all my little notes.
Yeah, that's what he wants to see to make sure it's right.
Oh, I'm not giving up my notes, no. No, I gave everything to you. I sent it on August 21st. Attached is a copy of the above captioned draft ordinance. Additions highlighted in turquoise, deletions highlighted in green. Please note that the edits highlighted in yellow were yours as provided in the 6/5/25 committee packet. So really, it's just take what I sent to you and,
August 21st email.
yeah, August 21st, 10:57 a.m.
Did it go to spam?
I was gonna say, I don't have one for on my first.
I could resend that again to you, but, I mean, I have it right here. Yeah, August 21st, 2025, 10:57 a.m. So I'll resend that to you.
Yeah, I don't have it. The only email that I got that you were even on the 21st was the Board of Control meeting notification.
Okay.
Much
I
appreciated.
Not a problem. Okay, next, food trucks,
Table to the next meeting, please.
okay? And tabled to the next meeting because we're hoping that, okay. Peddlers and solicitors. Now, let me ask you this though, Mr. Gobrick, if I may. On the food trucks, you had indicated at 2 separate meetings that you have had the draft.
It should be in your mailbox.
When? When did you send that? I haven't received
Today.
any. Did you get one? Because you were to send it to all the committee members. Okay, would
So
you?
you should have that.
Okay. Just hold on a second.
You sent it just to her.
I sent it to Kelly and her.
You sent it at 8:20 p.m.
3 minutes ago.
Brandon.
Buddy sent it.
It should be in your email box.
Okay.
That's good.
In that, but you did send it to all committee members, as was requested of you, but I will take what you sent to me and forward it on to all the committee members.
Thank you.
Okay. And your draft is for us to look at, knowing that there's these additions, depending on what happens with, Chief Schwemley and...
Correct.
Inclusion of the fire code and There's something else in there. Oh, dollar amount for,
The fire chief had asked me that we not.
If an inspection
not
fee.
put a dollar fee in there, that we just say that, some word it, that it be a nominal fee decided by the fire chief.
right. Okay. You heard that?
Would it be better to say as decided by or as posted at the fire department?
However we need to word it, basically, again, I'm a strong proponent that I don't want to pass legislation
No, but
that we need to go back a year from now and pay another $200 to pass another piece to raise it $5.
But people feel better when they know that it is posted.
Sure, and I'm not opinionated of how that gets done. I don't want to put a specific dollar amount in there.
Yeah.
How about if you just if you pass, it's free?
I don't think that's the way it
And
works.
if you fail, it's $200.
If you don't get a speeding ticket, your gas is free at the gas station. See how that sounds?
I can afford the higher gas prices if I don't get the speeding ticket, right?
Okay, next. I'm going to get you on this one. You have not sent
Well, you got warned at least.
the peddlers and solicitors, which that was another.
Oh yeah, I got the food trucks done first.
But you, before we even talked food trucks, 2 different meetings, you were going to do peddlers and solicitors, send it to me, and then send it to all the committee members. And you said you had your draft ready.
I do, but I'm going back and double checking to make sure it's right.
Okay.
I will say that I've had to change my Ring doorbell camera batteries 3 times now from Omnifiber since we first started talking about this.
Okay.
Are you sending your emails to my email or Brian's old email?
Oh, no, I'm sending them to yours.
Okay. Did I get an email regarding that one?
You got it from Miranda on June 9th, 2025. Mr. Gobrick, please see the mail and attachments from Mrs. DeShawn, which I sent to her on June 6th. And it was a copy of the residents for no soliciting registration list that Mr. Wyatt had provided, as well as the Chapter 381 draft ordinance with my observations, suggested revisions highlighted in turquoise. So, yeah.
Perfect. What day?
Okay. We're not going to talk about any other.
June 9th.
June 9th.
He just asked what the date was again.
Oh, okay. Lastly, for me, on open projects, I just wanted to let the committee know there was a question at our last or at the last Public Lands and Buildings Committee on 9/4, they questioned if 428 East Mansfield Street was referred to the Health and Safety Committee as well. It was not. It was only referred to Public Lands and Buildings, and that's why we do not have it on our open projects list, because it wasn't referred to us.
What was that again, I'm sorry?
They were questioning if the 428 East Mansfield Street, that was referred to the Public Lands and Buildings Committee on June 24th, if that was also referred to our Health and Safety Committee meeting, and it was not.
May I make a request?
Oh, please.
Could you make a note to add that to our next council meeting agenda to remind us to refer this to this committee as well?
Already done.
Thanks.
I do have a question.
Yes.
Mr. Sean. On your open project list,
Mine specifically?
sorry, yes, on your health and safety open project list, dated April 1st, 2025, a traffic commission letter.
Oh. Yes.
It repealed 46-96. Has that been completed?
Yes. See underneath where I put
yes.
I put removed from the list.
Okay, I just didn't update mine, okay.
Okay.
I was just gonna take advantage of Mr. Wyatt if it hadn't, so sorry.
Yeah, that was all done.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, sorry.
Okay, not a problem. Okay. Aren't you gonna miss all these papers?
No.
That's all I have. Does the members have any open projects that they want to talk about? And I guess I'm not going to shut up. Property Maintenance Appeals Board, has Alyssa had any response back from Mr. McCarthy?
No response as of yet.
Okay. So possibly, I mean, I don't know, do you think maybe a follow-up? Whether it be email, phone call, I don't know how she did the original.
Follow-up's fine.
And you
I'll
will,
get her on that.
okay, thank you very much. Okay, now I'm done. And nobody else has anything? Public participation again. Seeing no one, I adjourned the Health and Safety Committee meeting at 8:30 p.m.
September 18th, 2025.
Service Committee called to order at 8:32. Members present, myself, Chair Chris Moretz, Aaron Sherrick, Kevin Myers, Chair Spiegel. At this time, public participation can come up and speak.
Greg Wyatt, 1125 Hillcrest Drive. Me and Chris were talking about this. So 913.12, right to enter, okay? Is that going to be strict in Section A, taken out? Because I have some problems with some of the words and terminology in there, because basically at Tuesday night's meeting, another civilian brought up the fact too that, okay, you got to have a warrant. The police department has to have a warrant to come in your house. Now, you're going to tell me that city employees are going to barge in my house? Okay? I'm just telling you. The terminology that's being used, time-sensitive situation, and the other one, emergent, is not a substitute for emergency. You have a box out front controlling the water meter, turn it off. Okay, if you so desire, and give the authorization from the service safety director to the city employees, tell them to turn the water off at the box. Because even time-sensitive situation, the terminology that I contacted somebody down in Columbus, is negative consequences, permanent damage, loss of life, or missed deadline. Doesn't add up in that section. All right, the other one that I had a question about, and Chris brought this up, is 915.09, Section B, broken, damaged, and frozen meters. Okay? It says in B, property owners are responsible for maintenance of the water meters. Okay? Wait a minute here. I don't own the meter. how am I responsible for that? Now, I understand if I cause damage to it, that the city should make me responsible for it.
That would, though, be criminal damaging at that.
Correct, it could be a chargeable
Doesn't need
offense.
to be written where you just read it.
That's right.
Mr. Moritz will confirm I called and spoke with him about that.
Cool, I'm glad, because don't we pay $1.10 a month, okay, for the insurance? Isn't that covered under that?
I don't think that would be covered under that.
Why?
That's a leak protection insurance.
Well, what if the meter malfunctions and leaks?
Yeah, but I think that's two different.
Well, I think it needs to be all incorporated. I mean, if that meter is owned by the city of Bucyrus, then it should be responsible of the city of Bucyrus and not me as a property owner, as it's written in that section 915.09. The last thing I want to bring up is I was kind of curious about Tuesday night's presentation to council by this Lewis McMahon attorney. The time frame of this is unbelievable because he's saying for the last couple of months they've been working with the administration, was his direct comments, quote unquote, his words, verbatim. What is going on? Okay, I have brought up several times to this committee and in council meetings that something's going on, okay, but I kept getting the answer, it's a legal issue, okay? I don't think it was ever a legal issue, because if it was a legal issue, it'd have been in a court of law, okay, in my book. Maybe I'm wrong, but some people in Columbus have told me otherwise. So my thing is this, are we paying for this guy? Is the sewer rates paying for this guy's attorney to negotiate this, and how long has this been going on? I mean, according to him, the last couple months, 2, 3, 4, 5 months, how long has he been under contract with the city to negotiate this as legal advice to the city of Bucyrus? I would like to know that question, answer to that question.
Good person might be asked, would not be us, but it would be the administration.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, I'm bringing this up. The other thing is too, is since we are paying huge amounts on the sewer rates right now, was it 14% right now, it's supposed to go up again, and now it's going to be 2 years before we can negotiate an agreement between possibly the feds, and as he stated verbatim, between the federal government and the state of Ohio to negotiate this new abatement or whatever the agreement. And then we are going to maybe get back on track. Now we're going to be 2 more years down the road. Shouldn't that cost come down some during that 2-year time limit to where we get a little bit of relief on our sewer rates? Okay, that's what I'm talking about. If we're not going to be doing anything for 2 years, why, and that money, according to what it was mentioned Tuesday night, is going into the account and can be only spent for that. But is his work coming under that money being collected from the taxpayers? That's my answer, my question, my other question too. I think the administration, personally, I'd like to have the guy come back because we weren't, as citizens, we were not allowed to ask him questions, which I think that's terrible. I think anybody puts on a presentation to council, it should be done in committees and not in council meetings. It should be done in committees so people of the public can ask questions.
As you probably know, we had no idea that was happening until it happened either, and I think you saw the disdain on my face and in my voice that we were learning about it at the same time that everybody was learning about it. I did go and meet with Tim Wood today, and we did discuss your question about the collection of the rates, and I've asked the auditor, and she's going to do a little research about how that gets laid out on paper. For me, I don't have a problem keeping the rates up because that's less money that we're going to have to borrow and less interest rates we're going to have to pay on things. So for me, I'm okay with that, but I want to make sure that the money's safeguarded and it's put into a place where it can only be used for that and nothing else. So I'm waiting on an answer for that.
Well, I know, but what fund is paying this guy?
I didn't think to ask that question, so
Dude, what fund's paying this guy? I mean, it's
I
not,
think we
it's
can
not
find
cheap.
out.
It's not cheap, I
Yeah.
guarantee, if he's been working for the last 2 months. And he's gonna be continuing to working on this for the next 2 years? That's a heck of a, amount of money for legal
Tim
services.
did share with me today, he doesn't believe that it's gonna be that length of a time to get the consent done. He thinks that's gonna be done quickly. The stuff that needs to be done, collection of the data from the wet weather season, he believes that's all gonna go forward next spring. And so I think things are gonna move faster than what.
We're gonna be, well, now what, 2038 before we even get a plant up and operating now, and we're not gonna be able to.
The plant might be completely vastly different than what we first thought.
We could have a whole new plant out there, and it could actually cost us more money. Because if the discharge rates or discharge limits are not met, and going back to the original, and I went back to the original videotape when it was put on by, was it August or whatever, is that it should have been a class 4 plant.
Right, and Tim shared with me today that their goal is to keep it a class 3 if at all possible because of the extra certifications and therefore would be the extra expense.
Well, like
of
the guy
employees.
said, like this attorney said in his presentation, okay? You need to look at what we need to do right the first time and not try to come back and fix it later because it's gonna cost us more money. So if a class 4 plant is where we gotta be,
Right.
then you know what? Maybe some people need to get ducks in a row and get some people trained to that classification. Thank you.
Terry, you have anything to add to that? You have experience in that.
Class 4 is, to get that license, you gotta write an essay to get it.
That's right, you do. Yeah, safety for water.
Yep. So,
Hey, Chris, question. James Cady, formerly at 216 West Mary Street. Question, man.
Get that mic up here a little higher. You're right tall. There you go.
All right, can you hear me now?
Get your stomach growling over here.
But question, this is the question, man. It's like the Verizon. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
But but just wondering, man, since nobody wants to answer, okay? It's about money. Everything's about money. Good old boy system. Everybody know Bucyrus is part of the good old boy system. It's been around for years. It's never been hidden. My dad told me this. My dad grew up here. Everything. Like, everything goes on Coyote. At the end of the day, last administration lost $1 million. Told her it was in the wrong place. I think something should go down with the last administration. Investigation, something. That's the people's money.
Could I stop you? This doesn't involve the
Yeah.
service committee whatsoever. If you're
Yes, yes,
talking
sir.
money, you gotta wait for finance committee. That's after this one.
He beat me. You beat me.
We can't talk to you about money in the
Yeah,
service committee.
I can.
no.
Sorry. He beat me to it.
Rules is rules.
Oh, okay.
You got something else you wanted to talk about out there.
Yeah.
That wasn't what you were talking about out there.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was.
And the sewers.
Yeah.
When they gonna get the sewers up out of there? That was something that happened in the CIC meeting. Dude tried to tell me something else. You don't know what you're talking about. Technically, if you listen to Dude Tuesday, the discharge, our sewers, Bucyrus is discharging in the Sandusky River. That's illegal. They stopped that years ago.
No, sir,
No, it's
they are
not.
only as an overflow, as an emergency overflow,
it's a
and it's
emergency
completely
overflow.
legal. The
But-
goal of the
They're called-
EPA is to reduce those discharges.
Yeah, they're called.
Correct.
That's what we've been doing and spending millions of dollars on
Get
over
them
the
out.
last 10 years.
But what happens when the river upflows? The river discharges into that.
No, there are check valves to keep that from happening. This is
Yes.
They get
When
checked
they
out.
put the check
That was more
valves
money
in.
that we spent.
years ago,
There's a picture here.
decades ago.
You see, that's something that I just learned. But I heard him talk about it. I said, hold on, those you can't discharge. Like, they gotta stop that.
The goal is to reduce those. You're never going to eliminate them all the way with the type of system we have.
Nope.
But the goal is to reduce them, and we have taken leaps and bounds of improvements in doing that. That's why you have seen the town torn up over the last 10 years, putting in new sewers, separating the sanitary from the stormwater sewers, where the stormwater does go to the river instead of treating it all in our plant.
And all those CSOs are permitted
So-
by the EPA.
Mainly what I'm hearing is a new sewer plant should have been built years ago.
No, I mean, the sewer plant we have now was built in 1960. It's done its job. and it's nearing its end of its lifespan, and we're looking to the next step of the future. I think everything is being done in the right way. Be critical all you want of a lot of things in the city. I think this is one thing that they're doing right.
Yeah, I do get it. I mean, it does need a new plant. It's outdated, but I was just saying, like, a lot of money we wasted too.
Here, I got a picture for you so I can show you what Terry and I were talking about.
That's the CSO, right? That's a flap. If there's more pressure on this side, it opens up. If the water's on this side, it closes it, so it don't go back into the sewer.
But when you like down paths, it doesn't have that. It's like this, but it's up.
It's
like
probably-
a sewer pipe that comes up.
Probably a stormwater.
And in the river, you can watch it when it floods up higher past that. Watch the water just swirl. It sinks right down.
That's stormwater, not
That's probably
sanitary.
stormwater, not the.
There's no human waste in that. That's
There's no waste, that's just.
That's rainwater.
That's straight stormwater.
It's just off the streets.
I just knew it looked like a sewer pipe. That's what I was saying.
It's storm sewer.
Well, that's why it's sewer.
Bad choice of names, but yeah, it's storm sewer water. Any more public participation? If I can say it right. Seeing none, I want to move on. Oh, okay. Alamo Park Path. We got any more information on that? Dylan?
All right. All Miller Park Path. So this is the ODNR grant project that we were notified that we were awarded last year. We've been working through design, and I will owe everybody a big apology up here because I am the culprit that walked through the park and marked the trees.
Well, you created a firestorm.
Yes,
My
you
phone
did.
rang more on that topic than
Oh, I
the other
know.
topics.
Mine too. Mine
So I heard
too.
about all week.
So we've went around and spray painted brown paint over those marks and to hide them. And those are not all trees that are coming out. We're saving as many trees as we can on this project.
Was that environmentally friendly brown paint?
Yes, super environmentally
organic?
friendly. Get a picture of what this path is going to look like up on the website so everybody can see the routing. What I'm here for tonight is to get legislation passed so that we can go out to bid on this project.
Quick question.
Mhm.
Has the trajectory of the path changed from what it was originally when they?
Yes and no. Some of the path has moved up closer to the roadway than what it was before, just primarily because of funding, and really the path is still serving the same goal of getting people off of All Miller Drive, walking all the time, and getting them onto the path.
When you say
So-
close to the roadway, are we talking bordering the roadway, like similar to?
Nothing's more than 5 feet.
Okay.
So there will be a strip between.
A strip of grass.
Of grass
essentially. Will there be
between.
curbing and things, similar to?
No, where the
Can't say
path
that word.
meets the road, there will be crosswalks delineated, handicap, the truncated domes will be there, and then anywhere it meets the road, there will be bollards to keep people from driving on the path, but.
Part of the problem, and maybe you've already thought about this, when there's, bigger baseball game events and things,
Mhm.
people pull off. And
Yeah.
so the thought process there, the fear there was that people were gonna pull off the road and be actually closer to or onto the walking path, creating a danger for those.
Yeah,
who walk.
so we have planned, I've got 2 of the people in my office are baseball parents, so we have planned for that as much as we can, still keeping, at some point you run into the river. But on the, the west bottom corner, southwest corner, the southern side, and the east side up to Gay Street, we have the path is more than 20 feet off the road. The northern part of the path up by the pool building is 5 feet off the road, south side of All Miller Drive. But as much as possible, we wanted to keep it close enough to the path that people would use it instead of the road to walk, but obviously try and keep it far enough away because we know that people park there. And then part of this project is rehabbing the parking area when you first come down into the park, kind of adjacent to the bell tower, that whole inside corner. And we'll be painting spaces. Once that is done, we'll be painting spaces on that, which generally, if there's not spaces painted, only about half the number of vehicles can park there because everybody leaves big old gaps between cars. So the hope is to be able to help with parking in that way as
Do
well.
you think there'll be an opportunity to add some kind of barrier, whether it be guardrail or a curb or something?
There?
In the areas where the path gets close to the roadway?
Not without the city putting in a bunch of extra money, because you're adding, $40 or $50 a foot to the path to put a curb in. Most areas, there's going to be a swale beside it, which should help deter people, but I know that people are still gonna drive right up on it.
When we talk about trees, I know you don't want to plant a tree that close to the roadway, but could some type of shrubberies or things also be used to delineate a path? I know it's not a safety barrier, but a reminder barrier, like some just regular boxwoods or something.
Yeah, maybe in some of the areas, but when we've got drainage swales beside it, I don't really want to plant them in there anyways, so. But, yeah, so, yes, to answer everybody's question, there will be some trees that have to come down in order to build this project.
When will those be marked?
Not until right before they're ready to be taken down. I have learned my lesson. But I've walked this path probably 4 times by myself, and at least 3 times with the mayor and service director and Jeff Dunn, putting little curves in the path all over the place to get around as many trees as we can. So we are doing everything we can to save, because honestly, it's a cost. We've got a grant for this project. We're trying to get the entire project done for that grant. And any extra trees we have to take out is just an extra project cost that we really don't need.
And that's money we probably spent at some point to plant.
To plant them, yeah, maybe 60 years ago, but yeah, there are some of the small trees up along the path that, up along the existing road that Jeff Dunn is going to be working to get them moved once we actually start getting some rain here. So we're doing what we can to save at least the
last batch of them, they all died.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yep, and that was a conversation we just had this past week when I walked all this with the mayor, is working on, obviously you guys have the tree fund, and using some of that money to plant extra trees for the ones that we tear out.
Okay.
Yep, so we'll get a general map to Bonnie so that we can show how this is going to route. The map will give you basically what side of the road it's going to be on, because we go back and forth several times, and then this will ultimately connect over to Friendship Bridge, where we just completed the
So how many
Unger
times are we
path.
crossing the road? Do you know that yet?
1, 2, 3. We cross Gay Street. We cross at the northeast corner we run up the east side of the road, then convert to the south side when we turn, and then we cross right before we go back down the hill by the parking area on the west side. Yes, yeah. Gay Street once at the Ford Crossing, and then All Miller Park Drive twice. And those, how we're planning that currently, because this is ADA accessible path, the whole thing is, and part of painting some of these areas and delineating parking spaces is adding more defined handicap spaces. But all of those crossings, because obviously that road is steep in some areas, steeper than what ADA accessibility allows. So the current plan is to pour those in concrete, those crossings in concrete, to even help further delineate them, so. And to keep better compliance with ADA rules.
Sure.
So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yep.
Dylan, what are you gonna actually advertise the project at? Will it be all Miller Park path? So we
Right
did the
now,
legislation correctly.
we have it as City of Bucyrus All Miller Park walking path. And then I'll come back up in Finance Committee and we can go over all the money part of it. Yeah.
Okay, James.
All right, when you cross the road, you put in where you hit the button, the light splash, so somebody's walking.
No, we won't be having those, not in the park. We will have crosswalks like we do in town.
But I'm saying, like, when you said crossing Galen Street, you gonna put them there?
Gay Street.
I mean, Gay Street, yeah.
No, because that's right at a stop sign.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Good. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dylan.
And is this one where we just okay it to go on to finance?
That's what I'm wondering
Or-
too, is, yep,
Yeah,
we just want to okay this to,
I okay it.
so do I.
yep, that's our vote, I guess, then.
Yep.
Move it on to finance.
You're welcome.
Title IX was going to be discussed more but I think that should be as a special committee meeting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And whenever we said it, I believe that the people that were involved, so the administration,
Right.
Jeff Dunn, all them, they need to all be at this meeting so that we can, otherwise we're just gonna sit there and talk
I don't-
and say, well, we'll check and get back to us, and it's not gonna get us anywhere.
From what I've seen so far, not too much of this has to do anything with streets.
Okay.
It's all the other end of it. So I think we at least have them here.
Yeah.
And right now, I don't think anything in September is going to work for anybody, is it?
You said is or isn't?
Isn't.
You want daytime or evenings?
I
know your schedule changes.
September 25th 's already there, let me see.
25th was no good for you?
No, 25th, we can do it at a different time. We're already doing 25th for
Or we got the economic development.
economic development
Yeah,
on 25th.
4 o'clock.
That was at 5,
4
right?
o'clock.
Yeah, I'm thinking if you are free during the day that day,
Yeah, I am.
that would be a good daytime meeting when you've got the administration already here in the building.
I was thinking about that too. We got to have them here. It's going to have to be daytime.
Got 29th, Monday.
29th, I'm on, 29th, I'm on second set day, so I'd have to be out of here, out of Bucyrus by 1:45.
I can't do that day.
How close are you to bringing this to full council?
That's what the special meeting's gonna be for.
Hopefully
Actually,
one
there
more
are some
meeting.
sections in there, there are some chapter 9 sections
Never wanted to do it all.
that we can do just those bundles because there's no corrections in them. If we want to do it that way. And the trouble we've had getting all this massive stuff done in this one, trying to pass all this and get it all done, all the problems we've had with it, all the downloads that are all messed up on it for the past year. Even Mr. White brought up one today. His reads a little different in one section than mine does from the stuff that we were handed today. So that's some of the stuff we got to correct. Special meetings should be for the stuff that's needs to be worked on, but there's sections in here that we can, whole sections we can pass, there's nothing wrong.
Do it.
Well, it was the cost of the legislation, that's why.
The cost of legislation is why we did it originally in the first place.
I think if we have a special meeting, we can go through the whole thing.
Right.
And be done with it and bring it to council.
Bring
How
your
about-
highlighters
what
and
about
Hopefully.
24th? How about Wednesday, the 24th?
24th?
You guys want to invite Vicky?
Okay.
When's the
Who?
law
Do you wanna
director
invite Vicky?
scheduled?
Yeah.
Cool.
You want to do it when you're not in court.
Correct.
So what day are you not in court?
Tuesdays and most of the time Fridays unless I have trial.
Jeff Dunn, I would say he's not available.
Tuesdays are your best days.
Tuesdays are my
Tuesdays?
best days.
Tuesdays would be my best days.
Usually they're on Fridays.
Fridays, okay. I got the 23rd, but I'm on night, so I can come in all day that day.
We got a Vita groundbreaking at 5 o'clock that day.
We've already got other meetings scheduled that day too.
Okay. That puts us into October, correct?
The 7th?
If we could do it later on that day, you have meetings at night on 23rd?
23rd of
September.
September, let me get back to September again. 23rd, I believe I'm probably, we'll see.
I think I got a Lions meeting at night.
What day are we on?
23rd I can do, I'm on nights that day also.
I got a Lions meeting at night, sorry.
What?
23rd.
He has something on that night.
23rd, I got a Lions Club meeting.
Oh, okay, well,
How about October 7th?
go back to October, hang on.
Boy, that's a two Monday, first two Monday. I would be good on that date.
October 2nd, I'm on 2nd on October 7th. On the 7th, I'm on 2nd. So that's not gonna work unless we do it before.
9 or 10 a.m.?
I'm good with that, if everybody else is good on that.
I may not be in a great mood, but sure.
I'd be better at 1, but
Well, if he's on seconds, he's
I
got
know.
to leave to go.
I know.
Yeah.
October 7th at 9 o'clock.
9 or 10?
Let's do 9, so we have more time to go through.
I'll try.
On the 7th, 9 a.m.?
Yep.
So if you want the department heads here for that?
Yeah.
For the 7th at 9,
Yep.
is that what we're coming up with?
Yep.
Okay, special
Kelly,
counsel.
is it safe to assume you'll handle the notifications and the requests of the people to be here? Thanks.
On a completely different side note, the reason we did the committee and the meetings on the 30th and the 2nd is because the OML is that next week. It took me a minute, sorry. 4 meetings later.
Okay, we got a special committee meeting set for service on the 7th at 9 a.m. This time, any open projects you want to talk about? Seeing none. Public participation again? Mr. Stuckman? Stuckert.
Bill Stuckert, 205 North Spring Street. This has to do with Title IX. Where are my papers here? This has to do with Chapter 925, entitled Sewer Service Charges. Stated in 925.03, the rates. In the section there, under the rates. This issue was brought up by former councilperson Steve Pfeiffer in the year 2019. Under 925.03B, it says, except as hereinafter otherwise provided, total sewer charges shall be based upon Buffalo stormwater separation fee plus the usage rate provided in section C based on the amount of water consumed upon such premises measured as hereinafter provided in this section. And in the chart uses meter rates per month per 100 cubic feet, which for, I think, majority of all users, at least residential users, the city of Bucyrus, that would fall under step 1, which currently would be $9.49 per unit. Well, currently, this isn't quite accurate because currently the city charges a minimum of 2 units of usage for the sewer rate. It does not state that anywhere in here in rates that the city charges a minimum of 2 units.
It does in one of the other, titles, but off the top of my head, I can't think which one it is right now, but it does say.
I think it's underwater.
And I guess to me, this goes right back to not publishing definitive numbers that are gonna be subject to change. And then, and when they do change, you have it listed 4 places and you only remember to change 3 of them and then
Yeah.
you screwed the whole pooch.
And again, this is also supposed to be in the service director's
Yeah.
office too, if it does change.
So if the practice continues of charging a minimum of 2 units for the sewer usage, then that should be stated in here under the rates.
Or it should be removed and just stated rates available in the service director's office.
Which was actually what I had done the first time,
Yeah.
somebody said they wanted to bring back and put it.
Yeah, I would like to see them removed.
Yeah. And it was asked to be brought back in, so.
We talked about it on the 7th.
Well,
But on the
if,
7th, but that was one of the things that was changed, these charts were supposed to be all in there. And somebody, administration, I believe, wanted to put them back in here. So that's why they're back in.
okay, but if the rates are
See, if they
to
change,
be,
you can just go there and find out what the rates are.
if the rates are to be, to be available
Yeah.
in the service safety
They should be
director's
posted.
office.
Yeah, it should be posted in there, yeah. Available through him or,
And on our website,
yeah, from the website.
yeah, not in legislation.
Because that, I don't even, I have to look it up, see which one, what year that was actually even done in. Because I know some of the ones that I was looking at today was clear back in 93.
93.
Some of this stuff is from 61 years ago that we're changing in this, so it's been
So-
around for a long time.
What gives the service safety director the right to charge a minimum of 2 units? Where is that permission given to the service safety director to do that? I understand that by state code, water can be charged with a minimum.
I believe
But
we
not the
set
sewer.
legislation giving that authority.
Yeah, we set legislation to do that.
What legislation is that?
Water.
It was done, no,
Water
for the
part.
sewer
No,
rates.
it's sewer too.
We did that,
Yeah.
about a year or 2 ago, I believe.
Mhm. Well, that's about a year ago, or at least, that we set, where he could set those rates too.
Was that done when the perpetual rate chart was?
I believe,
I was
I believe
thinking
so.
it was done around that
yeah,
time.
August-ish of last year.
So if it's in there, Bill, there's a piece of legislation, I don't know if it's in it or not, but what they're talking about is there's legislation early on in 2024 when Tim Wood came in and they were saying how we're gonna need to start staggering increases to ramp up to pay for this plant, so if you wanna come in and find that legislation, I welcome you to stop in at the council clerk's office and we'll find it for you. But I don't know if what they're saying is in it or not.
I do remember the conversations about it though.
Okay, so that's different than what the chart states as the progression of rates in it.
Yeah, and like I said, in my opinion, I don't think that chart should have been put in there in the first place, and I don't even know if that's the current ones that Tommy has.
And Bill, are you free on the
7th?
7th?
I believe I am.
Well, there you go.
At what time?
9 a.m.
9 a.m.?
And
We're
I
gonna
got,
talk about just this.
we'll save you a seat, I got it written down here, the administration's gonna be there, we'll have everybody that's,
Because that's what we
able
were
to
just
talk to this
scheduling
and
before,
get it
was
through.
just to talk
Okay.
about this specific legislation.
My question is, who's bringing the coffee?
Law director.
There's this place across the street.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
yep, thank you.
It was way early on in the year.
Any more public participation? Seeing none, I wanna adjourn at 9:08.
September 18th, 2025.
Finance Committee's called to order at 9:10 PM. Members present are Vicky DeShawn, Chris Moritz, James Me, and myself as chair. Public participation for finance.
Greg White, 1125 Hillcrest Drive. There was a statement made during the council meeting on Tuesday night that I found was quite interesting, and I wanted to repeat it again tonight. And it was a quote from Mr. Myers. But in the climate that we're dealing with right now with our budget, I believe passing a resolution that would cost us money to publish is probably not in the best interest of us being good stewards of our taxpayers' dollars. Okay? I find that hard to swallow because guess what? We gave how many raises out this year? Okay? How much money are we spending for the insurance that the unions wanted to change and the city employees wanted to change? I mean, Mr. Myers, you even allowed with the law director, when the vote came up on the fire department contract, council rules were violated. It was supposed to be sat for 24 hours according to rules of procedure before it even went for a vote. But none of you spoke up. I have brought that to the attention of this committee and council before. Okay? So do we have rules for some and not for everybody else? I mean, the rules of procedure were violated with the contract with the fire department. I'm not disputing the contract. I'm just saying how it was done. Okay? The thing that it didn't follow the rules. Okay? And this council should be about the rules. 100%. But when someone makes a comment, good stewards of the taxpayers' money, you guys are not being good stewards at all. Plain and simple. I mean, we haven't even heard from the auditor yet what the total cost of this insurance is costing the city. I got a fine feeling it's going to be $1.2 million. But I'll do a public records request tomorrow and get that. Because I want to know how much money that insurance that the union wanted to get out of one plan, which is probably one of the best plans they ever had in their entire lives, and someone sold them a bill of goods, and now it's costing the city more than the 15% that it would have been paying for the higher premiums. And I'm almost guaranteeing you of that. I can almost bet a good amount of money on that's probably true. And I'm going to find out. Because I think the citizens of this town need to know where their tax dollars are going. Because you guys are not being good stewards of the taxpayers' dollars. Okay? This is getting out of hand. You guys gave out all these raises to everybody, and it just went by the wayside. And now, but in the climate that we're dealing with right now with our budget, so do we have a budget problem right now? I mean, the auditor has brought up, we're fine. But now are we having a problem? Are we in? Because I heard the income tax is down, 5-7%? So are we really good? Or are we going to have to make some tough choices next year that people are going to get laid off and people are going to lose their jobs possibly and go on unemployment and stuff like that? Thank you.
Kurt Fankhauser, 1415 Michigan Drive. Kind of following up with Mr. Wyatt. So Tuesday night at the council meeting, Mr. Gobrick stated that his budget in his office had a possible like $20,000 or $30,000 that they hadn't spent because he, quote, "were not contracting stuff out that normally was contracted out." So I think what he's referring to, and maybe he can clarify, outside contracting for like labor negotiation. We have union contracts that get negotiated. Historically, previous law directors have used outside legal counsel, and I don't think that a $20,000 or $30,000 savings is something to brag about when you have a union contract that had a raise in it that cost way more to the taxpayers than $20,000 or $30,000. And that's every year that the city's paying that. You get a pay raise one year, you continue into the next year. Don't roll your eyes over there. You get the same pay raise next year.
No, you don't.
So the $4.25 raise, The $4.25
As I
raise.
have stated until I was blue in the face up here, it was a wage reopener with the understanding in good faith negotiations that the contract that we're about to negotiate now for the next 3 years was not going to have a raise. I sat here and explained to everybody, if you divide the $4.25 an hour divided by 3, we're giving it in the front end, and they're not getting a raise in the new contract.
So you're saying that the next 3-year contract, there will be no raise in it?
That was the good faith negotiations that we did.
And you're not reaching out and having an outside labor negotiating attorney in on this contract?
That was not the plan.
Okay.
Any other public participation?
Go ahead, no, you go first.
And for the record, my budget would be well under, or well more under, I guess. But the arbitration that cost us $14,000, which I'm qualified to do as a trained arbitrator, cost us, like I said, $14,000, and that was started before I even got this job. So take with that what you will, I guess.
Mike Keefe, union member. The old insurance was much better than the present insurance. Just to let Mr. White know that. So, yeah, that's what I have to say on it. Check with everybody before you open up your mouth.
I just got one question,
Name
Kevin.
and address, please.
James Cady, formerly 216 West Mary Street. My question is, the money. Follow the money is what I was always told. Something's got to be done about the old administration. I'm going to sit here, I'm preaching until I'm blue in the face. Everybody want to blame her that she lost the $1 million. It wasn't her, it was Jeff Wagner told her, oh, this is where it's going to be at, it's not going to be there. So y'all getting blamed for that. When is anybody in the city with the administration going to start making the old administration pay for what they done? Wasteful
How
money.
would you suggest that happen?
Investigation.
Mr. Cady, we can't investigate ourselves.
What are we gonna do, sue ourselves?
No, I mean, I know you can't investigate, but charges can't. I mean, it's not hard. You're the law director. You can call down to the state of Ohio and say, hey, I think we had a crooked previous administration.
Knowledge of anything that happened in previous administrations.
Huh?
You're more than, I have no firsthand knowledge of anything that happened in the previous administrations. However, you are more than able in your citizen capacity to reach out to the state of Ohio and tell them that you have these concerns and here's why, and ask them to conduct an investigation, which obviously we will fully comply with.
So who do I call? Can't call Ohio Attorney General because they'll tell you, oh, they work for underneath us. So I've tried that before. Up in Sandusky, I'm just saying.
It sounds like you should be going towards the Ethics Commission.
Ethics Commission? Oh, trust me, I will. I'll go towards the Ethics Commission because there's a lot of fraudulent money that, I mean, funny money is what I call it. The funny money was put in somebody's pocket. Like I told Clarissa earlier, the CIC should have never been closed. And what's the other one, Clarissa? CRA. That money should have been set up. It should have still been there. It should have never been donated back to the city. I mean, look up CIC online, you will find it all. Even though how it rise to it.
Thank you. As Mr. Gobrick said, you're free to reach out to the state auditor list. I kind of want to give you a chance to answer this question though. Your office, both prior to your arrival and during your tenure, has received awards every year from the state of Ohio for our auditing practices, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Any other public participation?
Can I speak really quickly?
You can.
Just to clarify something Mr. White said, he said we're down 6%. I wanted to just say that that was August of 2024's collections versus August of 2025's collections. So for the month of August, if we're just comparing August to August, this year we were down $35,123.13. But our income tax collections are up overall. So the amount of money we've collected from January 1st, 2024 to August 31st, 2024 was $5,704,343.17. The amount of money we've collected from January 1st, 2025 to August 31st, 2025 is $6,206,046.06. So that means that we are actually above in collections. $501,702.89.
Thank you. We'll get back to you for some more later.
Yeah.
All right, the next topic, I do need a motion requesting emergency legislation authorizing and directing the administration to place the, is it putting in the bid, Dylan, is that the right word I'm looking for the OPWC grant for the Beverly Drive project?
Just authorizing them to apply.
Authorizing them to apply for the OPWC funds for 2026 for the Beverly Drive project as an emergency.
So moved, as emergency.
Do you know when the exact submission date is for that?
So we submit to the county engineer with all the supporting documentation on October 10th is the submission date. I had intended to have this one meeting sooner, but I did not make it.
So yes, as emergency.
Yes.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Me and a second by Mr. Moritz. Any discussion? Mr. Me?
Yes.
Mr. Moritz?
Yes.
Mrs. DeShawn?
Yes.
I'm a yes. Motion carries unanimously. All Miller Park Path. It's numbers time.
Right, so Kaylee's gonna have to touch up on the process of this, but I will give you the numbers. So again, this is all grant money as awarded through state capital, administered through ODNR. The current cost estimate, which is all grant money, but it is a reimbursement grant, would be a not to exceed $371,860.
371 what?
$371,860. That is estimated construction costs. That includes the 10% contingency.
So that OPWC funding would be solely for the street fund, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
on the project.
Just making
For
sure.
Alma. Yes, for the OPWC one.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
Well, because the project's broken out, so I just wanted to make sure it was all.
Into both.
Gotcha. Okay.
So what, do you need anything from us tonight? on
So
this?
we just need, for the All Miller Path, we just need authorization to go out to bid, not to exceed $371,860.
I'm sorry, I was answering a question to Kelly. I missed that part of the conversation. Was
Yeah.
that including a 10% contingency?
That includes
Okay.
the
I'm sorry, I
contingency.
wasn't
Yeah, yep.
paying attention twice. All right, so we will I'll entertain a motion requesting emergency legislation authorizing the administration to go out to bid for the All Miller Park Path project for a dollar amount not to exceed $371,860.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Mrs. DeShawn, a second by Mr. Me. Any discussion? DeShawn?
Yes.
Me?
Yes.
Moritz?
Yes.
I'm a yes. Motion carries unanimously.
All right, so then the only thing to add to that project is with Kaylee, I don't know, from a mechanics standpoint, I don't remember if we knew we were awarded this money when we did budgets last year or not. So I don't know if,
The fund exists.
okay,
So I was just showing Vicky it earlier.
Okay.
Let me double check. I'm gonna turn my mic off real quick just so you don't hear my paper, everybody. Okay, if you guys are interested, it's Fund 404, and we do currently have it budgeted.
okay.
All right, the creation of funds 283 and 284, as well as the appropriations, you're back up.
So, let's see, the appropriation, so for the 270 local fiscal recovery fund, that is going to be tabled because I'm in discussions with the county on the best way to handle that. That's part of their ARPA money.
Okay.
For the, I'm going to start with the creation of the VOCA and SVAA funds. These are funds that are done every year to support payment for our victims advocate. He's paid partially out of federal grant, partially out of a state grant, and then partially out of the general fund. So to create these funds, and they run on a fiscal year that starts in October. So that's why we do it at this odd time. We would like to create Fund 283 for the 2026 Ohio Crime Victims Assistance Fund. It would be Program 7728 for the Victims Advocate, and then line items 21 personal services and 24 for materials and supplies. And then I would also like to create Fund 284 for the 2026 Victims of Crime Act Fund, Program 7728 Victim Advocate, and item line 21 personal services.
All right, so I need a motion requesting emergency legislation authorizing the creation of these two new funds.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Me and a second by Mrs. DeShawn. Any further discussion? Me?
Yes.
DeShawn?
Yes.
Moritz?
Yes.
I'm a yes. Motion carries unanimously.
Okay, and then as far as appropriations, we were waiting to get an actual acceptance award letter that had the number on the document because I didn't want to bring anything without the actual number. So to appropriate, this is appropriating for the airport grant for the construction of the terminal building and parking lot. So appropriating in Fund 280, the airport grant under Program 7620 Airport under the capital outlay line item $1,904,503. And then this is funding that 2026 Victims Advocate Grant, Fund 283, 2026 Ohio Crime Victims Assistance, Program 7728 Victims Advocate, and an item line 21 personal services, $10,590.
All right, so I need a motion requesting emergency legislation authorizing these two appropriations.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Moritz and a second by Mr. Me. Any discussion? Moritz?
Yes.
Me?
Yes.
DeShawn?
Yes.
I'm a yes. That motion carries unanimously. Anything else, Auditor?
Nope, that should be it.
Okay, public participation.
Greg Wyatt, 1125 Hillcrest Drive. So this, what the auditor was saying, that they've collected $500,000 more. Wasn't that $485,000 from back taxes? Part of that $500,000? Because you brought that up in a couple meetings ago, that was all in back taxes. It's just from back taxes from 2019-18 through 2024. So is that correct?
More than likely, yes, but I don't have anything that states that here in front of me.
Right, but you made those statements in prior meetings that the city had collected over $485,000, so that's part of your $500,000 is what you're talking about.
Mhm.
That's what I want to know for the people out there to know, that only part of the story is being told. Thank you.
Every year, people don't file, and we collect back taxes every year.
Fankhauser, 1415 Michigan Drive. So the union contract for Ask Me, typically when that is negotiated, well, I guess every time when that is negotiated, the follow-up to that is the manpower ordinance, which is non-union. Those employees are given the same exact pay raise that Ask Me got. Okay, now a couple positions. Now this didn't always used to be this way. This was something that I believe started with Rob Ratliff as law director. He put certain positions I think there were 2 manpowers, now that I think about it. There was, like, the service director was different from other non-union employees. So what it is now,
The manpower.
this is way back before you, I mean, this was about like early 2010s. So if you look at the way it is now, the people negotiating the pay raise typically is the mayor, service director, law director, and outside legal counsel if they choose to hire outside legal counsel. So 2 of those people, because the law director has the prosecutor, assistant prosecutor position, which is wrote into the manpower, so that position, you know, is wrote in there. 2 of the 3 people negotiating the contract could potentially be getting a pay raise themselves. So I'm going to use a quote from somebody that spoke earlier, follow the money. I don't think the people negotiating the union contracts should be benefiting through another piece of legislation coming through where they get a pay raise themselves. That needs to be separate, because they could be thinking, well, let's give a $4.25 raise because we'll get one too, you know? So that's not in the best interest of the taxpayers to have it set up that way. So before this next Ask Me contract comes up, I think the Finance Committee needs to separate the service director and the assistant prosecutor out of the manpower ordinance, have their own separate legislation piece that sets their pay raise, because otherwise, just keep following the money. And why would they be conservative with the money when they're going to get the pay raise too?
Mr. President, or Mr. Chair, sorry.
Yeah.
I do have one quick question. In regards to what Mr. Fankhauser is asking, do they have, doesn't that, and Brendan, I'm sorry, Mr. Law Director, you may know this as well. I think that the service director, the law director, I think that piece, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm just asking, I was thinking when that piece goes in, it may affect the next term?
No, that's just the elected officials.
Okay, that is just the elected
That's
officials?
a whole separate thing.
So
Okay.
currently, my understanding is we have the manpower ordinance and then we have the billet ordinance. The law director and the service safety director are in the manpower. And the previous law director had you guys split the prosecutor and put it in the manpower so they could have insurance.
But there would, prior to the way it is now, though, it was a bigger deal because there was a second piece that had to go through, and Rob Ratliff said, just for the sake of simplicity, Rob Ratliff spent a lot of time setting it up the way it is now, because in his mind it was easier, but in reality I think it's costing us more money in the long run, because now the people that are negotiating the union contracts are potentially getting pay raises themselves. Well, they are getting pay raises themselves, because we are always following it up with this manpower. So, you know, I think it needs to be separated again.
Do you want to make that referral at our next meeting?
Yeah, and I'm gonna look back through the old legislation and go way back and see how it used to be, so that, because I think if you see it, you're gonna know what I'm talking about.
If you make that request for referrals, send me whatever documentation you have to support it.
Yeah, we'll get it.
All right. Any other public participation?
Kylie, I got a question.
Name and address, please.
James Cady, formerly of 216 West Mary Street. Kylie, now, this is where I'm sitting here saying, I understand that you're the auditor. Kevin brought it up that you won auditing awards, right? But when I seen you yesterday, what was it that you said that you got stuck with when you took over the office? What they do to you?
I don't recall, I'm sorry.
When you said that I don't want to say word for word, and I don't want to mistake it. Then you said, when I asked you, I said, why are they saying that you lost $1 million? What did you say?
I said, it's a very complicated situation. It has to do with grants, it has to do with,
But the simple way to put it, then you say that you was told it was going to wind up in the water department, and it never showed up there?
well, so it was told to, so it was told to me that it was going to be refunded to the water department. Unfortunately, that's not how that money should have went. It should have been in a separate fund in the 270 ARPA money fund. So the project was reimbursed to that fund, it just wasn't reimbursed into the water fund where it was listed as a revenue.
Correct. So I just want to make it up, what I was saying. That's way people know that I'm not making this up, and Kevin knows why I say what I want done. And I don't know how to do it. That's why I'm saying it, so everybody, even the public, knows what I'm talking about. So as you being the auditor, you think that the audit was done good? When you took over, prior to you taking over, you think they audited the money fine?
I do. So the thing is that, especially with that particular issue, it was I don't believe anyone was at fault. I think the previous administration didn't know what they were necessarily saying when they told me. I think everyone thought they had a good idea of what was going on, and they were not correct. And when they gave me the information, there's plenty of, for instance, this current issue we're going on, and once again with that same fund and ARPA money. This one is much less, it's like $30,000, but it's a room where I wasn't present in when the conversation initially happened. Then I find out about the issue, and then I have to try to fix the issue.
Correct. So see, you fixing something that the previous administration started, and you trying, and all the blame from what they did is now going on you, making you to be the bad dude. But at the end of the day, this is why I say what I say. Follow the money. When she followed it, she found it, but they screwed up. So if I got to go to the ethics board, that's what I'm going to do.
And I just want
To your point, a mistake was made, but nothing was done nefariously. Nobody attempted to steal any money.
It's not that, Kevin. It's not that.
Let me finish. It was very much a paperwork mistake that was unfortunately found way too late, and we're doing the best that we can to correct it now.
They spent money. This is what I'm saying. Like I said, the CIC, they should have never, like Brandon said, they moved the money back into the city. That money should have never moved. What's the other one, Ms. Slater?
Mr. Cady, you've made that point 4 times.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying.
Mr. Gobrecht has already informed you of what to do. We cannot address it.
But this is what I'm saying. As y'all being this is what I'm saying. Moving from this point forward, okay? People need to realize that why keep making the same mistakes?
Okay, this committee has nothing to do with the CIC. This committee has nothing to do with the CRA.
No, I'm just saying, man, it's the money issue. It all comes back to the money issue, and the old administration spent the money that they should have never spent. But I'm glad that now I know what to do, go to this, what is it, Brandon, the Board of Ethics? Is what you said?
Ethics Commission, yeah.
Board of Ethics Commission, that's where I'm going. I just wanted to make the public know what I was talking about.
Any other public participation?
I'll make this super quick, because I want to go home as well. Did this move? I'm losing my mind. Anyway, I feel like this is way differently positioned. Clarissa Slater, 3645 State Route 4. I'm getting sleepy and slap happy. Just a couple points. I just like to make sure that it's stated. I do love that the insurance is now back on the forefront. Back in June of 2024, I had made a suggestion to the administration not to change brokers because you're asking for problems because rates are just continually to skyrocket, and you're going to lose a lot of that foundation of being chunked into lower rates because you have time in with a broker. In October of last year, everyone knows I came up here and said that there was a deficit. I had stated that my figures were wrong, but I wasn't wrong in principle. I just find it's funny now that, where the conversation was to give credit when it's due, so high pot me kettle. Fun fact, the documents on demand have all of the end of the year reports, am I correct? And the monthly end reports and documents on demand under auditor's report?
I believe they stopped at April.
They stopped in April?
Mhm.
Okay. But would you be willing to pick that back
They
up,
should
or-
all be with the council clerk. Well, I don't know if they have the old email address now, but we send them out. So like when you guys receive all those reports, we send them to the council clerk first,
Okay.
and then they send them out to everybody. So they have them. It would just
And-
be uploading
And
them.
just so people know, it's because we don't want to pay a bunch of subscriptions for people to access documents on demand, so there's literally one for the whole city. The second thing about legislation, and I'll make this quick, is that the 111 and the 113.2, 111.11 and 113.2 gives us the ability to have deference and waive it. It states in there that we can waive time limits, the 24 hours, and it just says the actual ordinance. So there was conversations on that. And the last thing is about the manpower ordinance. Yes, the pay bands. I don't know if people are familiar with it. The department heads have the ability to give up, they basically raise the threshold for the raise. It does not mean that it has to be raised. For example, I know the mayor, in discussions with him, had said that he did not give raises, I don't think at all, to his department, including the safety service director. It's at the discretion of the department head to give that raise if warranted, needed, or what have you. So the statement that the 425 was given to AFSCME, so everybody automatically got a 425 raise across the board, that's also not true. And lastly, if the issue is about I think that, do you get insurance now, correct? The elected officials get insurance. So if that was how that was set up, why don't we just, I would be willing to make a referral to just put the two pieces back together for the law director. Well, maybe I shouldn't be the one that does it, actually, but I would suggest it that just for, not to muddy the water anymore, that maybe that's just changed because that rule's not there anymore. If they weren't getting insurance, the law director wasn't getting insurance, and now elected officials do get insurance, maybe that's something that we can look into, just to have it be voted on like the same way your pay is voted on. That way it's not in the manpower at all. Take that out of it. All right, thanks.
Last call for public participation. Seeing none, we will adjourn at 9:44 PM.